What's happening, weirdos? This is the return of the incredible Shane Torres, who has a new special out on YouTube for free right now called Blue-Eyed Mexican. It is hilarious. He is a true master of his craft. I loved this special. I watched it in part, but I also listened to it in my car without looking at the screen, obviously, meaning enjoy it however you can. You can listen to it. You can watch it. It works either way. It's fantastic. He's so silly. He's so funny, and he's so good. And this conversation was a joy, just effortless flow. Did we just become best friends? Energy. And you know I love those kind of episodes, so I'm so glad you guys are here. Check that out on YouTube. Just come see me on the road on PeteHolmes.com. Those are the tour dates. I'm most excited about May 4th. The Netflix is a Joke Fest. Come out to that if you're going to be in LA in May. And in the meantime, there are all my Largo shows. The 17th, I think. Yeah, the 17th is my next Largo date. And all the tour dates are on PeteHolmes.com. In the meantime, so glad you're here. Let's listen to Shane Torres Returns. Get into it.
What neighborhood did you guys move to?
We live in Ojai. Do you know Ojai?
That's like the kind of beachy town?
I thought you were going to say something funny. I was just listening to your... No. I thought you were going to make fun of me.
No.
I
I
thought you were going to delight me.
You saying, I thought you were going to say something funny.
It's the worst.
It's so bad.
No. I guess when you say it, you're worried people are going to be like, oh, that like crunchy hippie piece of shit.
Oh, really? Is that like, does it have that narrative for some people?
Maybe. Here's what's happening is I listened to your special this morning and I fucking loved it.
Thanks, man.
No shit.
Yeah, you're the one. I keep track of I keep track of every listen.
Well, one of the
get a nice little dopamine hit individually.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Find them.
Yeah.
Drive to every commenter's house and just shake her hand.
Oh God. Yeah.
But what happens, and this happens sometimes on this show, is if I'm not binging, but I've just finished it.
Yeah.
And now I'm talking to you. So I think I'm almost like an idiot where I'm like, here he goes. Here he goes.
Oh, you see me as the like
yes.
Yeah.
I was just watching that version of you.
Well, that's so funny you said it because I was doing that because when I was outside of the place and I was commenting on the yard, I was like, oh, they must be having so much fun, like with like all the toys in the yard and everything. And then you're like, you don't even live here anymore.
Yeah, that's not our stuff.
Yeah. So I'm just some guy who's
looking at some stranger's playset.
Yeah, like just some lonely bastard holding pastries.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Did you? I hope this isn't annoying, but it's really I'm complimenting a line. We're going. Is that okay?
100%. Yeah. By the way, you like
tell me.
It looks great in here since the last time I was here.
Thanks.
Like I like all the artwork, and that's maybe one of my all-time favorite bands.
Me too. Wait, bands? National.
Yeah.
I thought you were pointing at the Drive painting. One of
Drive
my
is
favorite
wonderful.
movies, but the National is my favorite band.
Yeah,
I love them so much.
Yeah, they're.
Why are we so sad?
Because we were husky. I still am. Like I think that's part of it. A lot of it for me. Yeah.
I think huskiness.
Yeah.
Outsideness.
Yeah, and do you find you gravitate to that feeling just? Generally?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird, comfortable neighborhood for me.
Yeah, I think it's familiar is what
it's
it
familiar.
is. Yeah.
I'm trying to... Did you watch Tony Robbins on Theo Von by any chance?
No, I missed. Wow. I didn't know that.
This is the world we're living in. That wasn't fed to you?
Yeah.
That didn't come through your algorithm like it's network TV?
Like it's bananas that's...
Did that happen?
Yes.
I agree.
And it's been, I think maybe 5 years since I did this podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe less. Who knows?
Yeah.
If we would have said that as a joke and not a possibility 5 years ago.
Well, Neil Brennan won with the joke where he goes, if you would have told me 10 years ago that the president would be the host of The Apprentice and the most influential person in the world would be the host of Fear Factor, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
He's absolutely right. Like things are changing rapidly.
I don't like it. And it's like it's not just people like
no,
I'm not like I do not like that the Obamas have an overall deal at Netflix.
They do?
Yeah, they have a production company. Yeah, it's like or they have a production like I don't think that's what a president and also I'm wrong. You know, like I know that it has nothing to do with anything, you know, but I'm just like does everyone need to be a celebrity now? Or like
well, that's what it is. I was just talking
and it's an easy way to make money, I guess, for them.
Well, I think
compared to running the free world.
Not enough attention there. We got to circle back.
That is crazy. That they're like, I'm not ready to shine out the spotlight yet. I'm gonna have a podcast with Bruce Springsteen.
I did the voice of the E-Trade Baby, and I just found out that they're doing new ones, and I did it last year. And
are you doing it?
But they're not using me because they're scrapping it.
Who's got it?
I don't know. Berbiglia?
Yeah. Another guy from Boston.
I was told that they want to do it more on the cheap, and when you do it for a long time, the number keeps going on, and I completely understand. I was
and it was like, whatever. It's a great opportunity that kept you fed. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And I had to have a moment of like, that's okay. Someone else should have that job. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm not.
I never have that moment ever.
What do you mean?
I do not have that.
You
moment.
want to cut off a head?
I've never had a job in comedy outside of comedy. Not one.
Yeah.
You know, like outside of being a
You're like Gary Gulman. Have you heard his bit about that?
Was it on the new special?
I don't know because I haven't seen it, but I saw
the
him
new
live.
special is
incredible.
There is like great stuff in it. I messaged him and he was really sweet.
Well, tell me if he said this. You don't have to.
Go on.
Be my Google. But he was on a show and it was me and it was Judd and it was all these other people. And he was doing really, really well.
Of course he was.
And he goes, see, this is all I have. That's why I'm better than all these people. He's like, they all have movies and TV shows. Yeah. He's like, this is all I do. And he's like, that's what, yeah. And he goes, you're welcome. And I was like, that is the funniest flip.
Yeah. And also like still a dig for him. Yeah. Like,
what do you mean a dig? Oh, that he's like, I don't have stuff.
Yes. Yeah. And also a way for him to be like, fuck everyone at the same.
But it's what comedy can be. And it's so helpful. It's this delightful moment.
And it is true. Do you find when you're doing all these other things, not that your stand-up suffers, but that it's like inevitable that it takes a step back? Or like,
well, it's interesting because
I worry about that when I even begin to think about trying to get.
I wouldn't worry about it. How long have you been doing it? Not to diagnose you, but you've been doing it a while.
It'll be 17 years this year.
Yeah. That's what I was going to guess around about.
Yeah. And in the 15 to 20 range. Yeah.
But I'm a weird. I don't know if I think I'm a weird creature when it comes to stand up. Meaning, I like to do it actually as little as possible, so it's still exciting. Meaning, like my appropriate. Like I did Largo last night. I loved it.
That's the funnest. Was it your show or was it?
It was my show. And I hadn't done stand up in. Well, it had been weeks and weeks, and I loved it.
That's great.
And I loved it because so much of my joke. Well, this is my point. Let me bring it back to you because
please. Sorry.
When I listen to you, I go, "That's the guy that's doing it all the time." That doesn't mean I wish that I was that way, but I'm hearing the polish on you, and it's really fucking good.
Thanks, man.
You miss no opportunity.
I think on this one I did pretty well.
Opportunity.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there's a joke or a moment. And you season it. Sorry, we're just going to step out and compliment City here, but like you season it with the right
population. Me.
Well, let's look at it like a meal, right? But you do give it the right variety of flavors. Meaning, oh, now he's being silly.
Yeah, I tried to like
he sang a little song about eating in the bed, and now he's being like really mean, but like not.
Did I do the nurses thing in the bit? In that?
No. I don't mean. I don't think anyone would know you're being really mean, but I'm going like, oh, the heart of this is actually pretty mean.
Yes.
Like you're making fun of the guy that you're checking in the hotel. I'm like,
oh yes,
you're just making fun of. You call someone a primate. I'm like, wow, like it's mean. But when I'm eating,
I was watching Dennis Miller or something that use that kind of language.
There's no hidden criticism here.
Oh no,
I'm eating a meal and I'm like, oh, it was spicy.
Oh,
I didn't think the little they sent out this amuse bouche and it was spicy and that's entertainment. It's surprising. So like I saw the polish. I just like, and then I'm really saying this only to put it back to you. Is like the first 10 years was like I perform constantly, and then the next 5 was like a little bit less. And now that I'm over 20 years doing it, I respect the amount that when I do it and then I don't do it for like I was just shooting something, so that's why I was taking a break.
Yeah, no.
But if I do a set, and then I won't do a set the next night. Let's say I have Largo on Thursday, I'll do a set on Monday. to
you're just still like
get wet.
To stay in the gym essentially.
Yeah, to stay in the gym.
Yeah.
But then I like Tuesday, Wednesday off.
Yeah.
And then if I do Thursday and
you had a
somebody's
good
like,
productive gym week. Yeah.
I loved it. So like twice a week is very good for me, and I love it, and that's pretty ideal for me.
That's but yeah, and I think the further you go along, obviously, like you have a greater skill set, and know how to maneuver in comedy. But like in those early years, you have to be obsessive. Like, or you won't get good.
God.
Yeah, yeah.
You remember,
you won't be good enough to set yourself apart.
I've said this a million times. It's stupid, but in Collateral, do you remember the movie Collateral?
Do I watch it almost nightly? Like
it's so good.
Michael Mann is my favorite.
Your line. Al Pacino is like a purse left on the subway. This is a great example. I'm done. This is what I mean when you don't miss an opportunity. If you just said, have you seen Al Pacino? Old guys get weird when they're single.
Yeah.
And you go, have you seen Al Pacino lately? Sorry, I'm doing your joke to you, but he looks like a purse left on the subway. And I'm like, I'm done. That's great. And then you say the next part. I
can't even remember what it is.
It's something like his contents are, he's been rummaged through.
Ransacked
and his contents are everywhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't wait to say it. And I was like, that I was already laughing at a purse on the subway, just kind of old and leathery. But then you were like, no, he can't keep it together.
He seems. Yes, it is what I'm worried about becoming all the time.
Well, that is, but then there's another flavor in your stand-up, the vulnerability. Like I'm always looking at those levels.
Is that where you write from when you're making stuff? Like, do you write from a position of emotion?
I have to circle back and add vulnerability.
Yeah, but like you're struck by something that like you're like that might be good, and then you kind of like, you go from there, and then you're like, this is how I feel about this.
Yes,
yeah.
It's very much that. Like,
okay.
I'm working on a new bit right now about people that make you take your shoes off when you come in the house. And the reason I realized I was like, that's a bit. I know.
But it's
Thank you for being on my side
yeah.
immediately.
I mean, I live in New York. I kind of get it because it's filthy and you walk everywhere.
I get it everywhere.
Still.
No, don't do it. I lived in New York for 10 years.
Yeah.
Leave your shoes on.
Yeah.
You know why?
If you're that worried about
we're all going to die. We're going to die. We're going to die.
And if you're that worried about the carpet,
just fuck off. But here's I did it and I ranted about it, and then I realized, no, this is actually it's just really one joke. I go, have you noticed that houses that make you take your shoes off, they always have a dog? That's the joke. I mean, and then I explain. It's like that guy just took a shit on your lawn. He didn't wipe.
Yeah, and
he didn't wipe.
It's fine for him to sit bare ass on the.
I have to take. Shouldn't he put shoes on?
Yeah, exactly.
And I go, shouldn't he put those little booties on that Mark Wahlberg puts on at the end of The Departed? We got to get. I just shot Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Like we should do that. I just shot Matt Damon. I had to shoot him. He was crooked.
He was crooked.
He was a crooked cop.
You're from Boston, right?
Yeah.
Is that the worst Boston accent you've seen in a film, the Wahlberg one, or is it accurate?
No, Wahlberg's was good.
Is it good?
He's from Dorchester.
Yeah.
But sorry, Mr. Nicholson. I'm from the mean streets of South Boston. Are you?
He's just saying.
And every once in a while he'll triple down. He'll go, "What can I use you for?"
Yeah,
and it's like
fa.
Suddenly you're a fa guy.
Yeah,
because the R shows up in other words.
You know, it's like that. It's like. He's great. Al Pacino is great. But like in The Irishman, Al Pacino was just like, if he hadn't said, "I'm Jimmy Hoffa," I would not know who he was supposed to be. Like,
I'm Hoffa.
Yeah.
It's me,
Frank. Jimmy Hoffa.
He says it right down the barrel. It's me, Al Pacino.
He just looks at the camera.
Playing Jimmy Hoffa. And then he goes back into the scene.
Look, I've had auditions where I've done stuff like that.
But no!
Dude, my first audition, I shook everyone's hand in the room.
I love that.
And I shook the camera guy's hand. I was like, "It's a pleasure. It's an honor to meet you."
That's so precious.
I didn't know.
That's okay. So in Collateral, the moment where Tom Cruise is walking through the crowd and he kicks someone's leg, he like breaks their leg sideways because he's so driven to get Jamie Foxx or whatever he's trying to get.
Yeah.
I used to think about that. I was like, when I saw that, I was like, that's how I feel about stand-up. It's like I'm coming.
Yes, you have to have teeth.
Like, I'm going.
Yeah.
And I don't care if there's a guy in my way. I don't
what
mean
if that was a choice he made
over.
and told no one?
What do you mean?
Tom Cruise, we just kicked some guy in the leg.
He killed an extra that day. And then he healed him.
Yeah. Like, it's like, do you know, I'm sorry.
No, please.
And, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, when Jim Carrey walks by the guy playing the cello and he just pulls his arm. Like, you know.
That's exactly
it's
right.
exactly the same choice.
It's this.
It's exactly
You've done something magical today.
Yeah.
That is the comedy version of Cruise and Collateral.
Yeah.
That or
it's the exact same.
It's just dick.
It's the same spark.
It's just dick.
Yeah.
It's just. I've said this a million, but George Burns smokes a cigar because a cigar is invasive.
Yeah.
It takes over the room, and that's what comedy is.
That's actually such a good point.
Isn't that
I never thought.
interesting?
Yeah. It's a very subtle flex.
And you did that with the Catholic joke where you say the touch of Christ.
Yeah.
And you go, that means something different if you're Catholic.
Yeah, that's the worst joke in the whole special.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, I like
because of this moment. I like the joke.
Yeah,
but then you go, fuck them, and I go, that's comedy. I'm like, I'm in the car. I'm saying it out loud. I go, that's comedy.
Thank you.
Because also you said the thing about like. You're going to give COVID to everyone you know, and they're all going to die, and then you're going to realize you are the awful person you always you always knew you were, or something like that. I was like, that's comedy. It's taking like all of this shame and like
inner
weird
monologue spirit,
and saying it, And I know this is so obvious, but I was like, it's deeply therapeutic in that moment where you're like, fuck them. I was like, that's the cigar. The not comedy is like not all priests are that way.
Yes.
And
like, let's apologize for the thing I made a joke about.
We shouldn't be even making jokes about that. Like, but you just fuck them. That's so funny and necessary.
Do you like
Rory
kicking?
Do you like Rory Scovel? The weird guy who can't wait to talk about Rory.
The guy who's like the guy who you're just like that guy. You're the opener in Des Moines, like who's just like is the nicest kid ever.
You nailed it.
Yeah,
the overeager opener in the green room. In Bloomington, Indiana. He's like Sinbad. I don't know why I picked Sinbad, but yes, The overeager opener in Bloomington doesn't know who Sinbad is, and that's what's wrong.
I was talking about this. I guess we're veterans of comedy now. I think that's a fair thing to say. I wouldn't say we're old men yet, or like, but you know, like
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but we're not as senior to some people, but we're
yeah.
Do you and this is the thing I've talked about on other podcasts, so I don't want to like make it seem like I'm warring. But do you worry about the lack of the sense of history in comedy right now from younger comics?
Yes.
Because I do a great deal.
And I love this because we sound like old guys, but we are old guys, and that's okay.
But I didn't know everything. I didn't watch every Greg Giraldo special, but I watched a few, like I know who he is, and he was an important comic, and I know that about him.
I'm going to interject here and say I'm always suspicious of comedians that are fanatics about sports. I'm like, you shouldn't be learning the stats of some up-and-comer farm league pitcher. You should be watching Greg Giraldo's special.
You should.
You should know those stats.
Especially when you're young.
I want laughs per minute, not ERA or whatever the fuck that is.
You're actually
LPM. Your obsessions are conflicting. Get the fuck out of here. But then Bill Burr comes in and he's like, well, that's it. And you're like, well, clearly I'm wrong and I'm right.
But he's special.
He's special.
Like, he's
I
special.
agree.
There are people that are
and
special. Bill is
Seinfeld
special.
Loves the man. I mean, but like
some people are special.
I agree.
But and some people have like just a better natural level of talent, like athletics.
I agree.
But I don't think and it does make me really sad that people have no history of comedy. Like,
what do you mean specifically?
Like I don't like younger. I'm still in New York, so I'm around clubs all the time. I see new kids all the time, and guys my time and up and down and everywhere in between.
Yeah.
They're never talking about stand-up. I don't know if that's true. When I'm around, they're not talking about it, or I don't talk about it with them much. Maybe that's.
Like, I think that Louis' best special. Shane's coming. Hey, funnel cake.
Were you guys just talking about Louis' special? It was that Norm joke where he talked about it was on Weekend when he got fired from Weekend Update. Like he was still on the show for like 10 seconds.
When Norm was?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And he would walk into like the cafeteria at 30 Rock and everybody would get quiet. He goes, were you guys just talking about how I got fired from Update?
Of course.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah. But I wonder if they are absorbing the comedy that came before them and how much of it,
I can see.
And I'm not trying to be old manny about it because I still watch comedy. I watch one special a week. That's like my.
Oh, wow.
I do it with a friend. Like we do this thing.
You didn't have to qualify. If it was just you,
no.
It's great.
I'm just.
I said wow because I'm like fucking good for you.
But this is why, everyone has an opinion on everything now, and nobody's watching anything.
speed agree.
Yeah,
people are just Oh, he said.
Yeah.
Oh, Inside.
Yeah.
Remember when
they just want to be
people-
like Sebastian's new special.
Yeah.
It's not good. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I don't know anyone who watched it.
Yeah.
But everyone had an opinion on it, and I'm just using him as an example.
Right.
Yeah.
You might be judging the font on the billboard. This is not good.
I don't like the lighting,
or you watch 5 minutes of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my point, I watch it. My friend and I were like, "What are we watching this week?" Like we text, and then we.
Is this Buckley?
This is not Buckley. No. Buckley.
Buckley is his roommate.
Oh, that's coming to an end this month.
Oh, no more Buckley?
No, yeah. I have to kill him.
With his bass?
What is with the giant bass?
Use the
I can't say who he plays for, but
we're back, and we'll never know who Buckley played for.
yeah.
But it rhymes. No, I'm just kidding. That would be such a giveaway.
It rhymes with Van Balen.
Keep going.
But are you troubled by it, or do you think it's just something like I'm kind of getting older and more seasoned? Like,
Well, I see it two ways.
Okay.
I hear what you're saying. And when we were coming up, there was more of an obsession on we all watched it.
yeah,
We
and the
all-
internet wasn't dominating in the way it was.
And then your opinions came out in a real way and people were responding them in a real way. And sometimes you would come in with a dumbass. Like, as much as I didn't really love all of the toxic ball breaking of the cellar, you would sometimes realize, this is where I learned that something my brother used to do. He doesn't do it anymore. He's a wonderful person. But when we were young, I learned this from him. He'd just be like, fucking sucks. That sucks. Like, just kind of to be cool.
Yeah,
And then
like
someone
negativity is the opinion,
Yeah.
or the default setting.
I'm trying, I've been trying. Chris Kattan sucks or whatever.
Yeah.
just to be cool. And then someone, I remember specifically Bill Burr talking about Kevin James, and I was like assuming he was going to shit on Kevin James,
Yeah.
and he went on a 15-minute. I remember he was going, he brings stuff that's here. He brings it here. It's here. He brings it. He elevates everything he does. And I was just like, oh, like it's not just hate. Like people can
even
be
if you don't
looking
like
for
the way they do it,
gold.
you can see the quality of the work.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a Sebastian fan, but I'm like, he's such a gifted physical comedian. It's insane.
You have to respect the result.
Yeah. Truly. And there's other, I feel there's so many other people I feel the same way, but I'm like, it's not me.
Yeah.
But it's the best version of what it is. Like, it doesn't sonically do it for me. We like the National.
Yeah. We're looking for something more national.
Yeah.
If Sebastian
but
was a
people
band.
we know
Yeah.
that are our friends that we've had meals with and drinks with, if we put that on, in the car, they'd be like, you like this?
Yeah.
They
I tried to get the National on Crashing, and Judd was like, women hear that mopey shit and they just turn it off. And I was like, oh.
God.
I couldn't, so many times I was like, what song would be great here? And he's like, just shut up. It's going to be Arcade Fire. And I was like,
what? I was like, my artistic choice on my special is, do you know the Lawrence Arms? They're Chicago.
Is this what brought you out?
Yeah, the song that...
Because I was like, oh, wow, he spent some money to get a little
Well, they're
song.
friends of mine, so I messaged them.
The Nationals brought me out every special except the last one.
Yeah.
Because I was paying for the last one.
That'll do it. Yeah. But that's the best. It still gets you... But my art thing for it was I paid... My friend Lauren D'Annunzio, she has this band called Warriors, Orriers, and she did a cover of the song.
Tom Hanks comes in as the manager of the Wonders and goes, "You're not the Warriors anymore. You're the Warriors.
I wonder what happened to the Warriors.
No more Oneaters and no more Warriors.
Oneaters.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Movie's good.
It's good. It's no Collateral.
But but she covered the same song I came out to. So it was a nice I bookended it
Oh, that's very artsy.
Yeah.
You know why I turned your special off?
Why?
Full respect. Yeah. You started doing a joke about sexting, and my closer is about sexting.
Oh, right now it is?
And you said, sexting is when you learn you're not ambidextrous. And I was like, I'm turning this off because I can't. I'm not a thief, but I don't even want you in there.
But you do. I do that too. Where you just kind of you get that storm. You just kind of a big tidal wave of stuff. If you get riffing, you can say somebody else's stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Don't
it's up to
flatter
you
yourself.
It's
You're basically on drugs. If you're in that's why Robin Williams and some of the Dane stuff. Remember on Louis when Dane was like everything's.
I
Just
thought it was
getting
a big.
sucked
I
up
thought it was
here.
the perfect analogy.
It is the perfect analogy because you're. One of the things that performers can do when judging other performers, I mean appropriately judging performers, is consider the feeling. Because other people can go, you're a fucking thief.
Yeah.
Robin Williams a fucking thief. And I'm like, you don't know what it's like to be Greek gods are bending over and putting their chins in front of you and are punching each one and they fly a mile and you feel like a king and suddenly some line slips out and you're like, whoops-a-doodle. And maybe you don't even notice if you're Robin.
And you do, when Robin did it on, what was it, The Tonight Show, I think?
Did he?
Yeah, like he riffed something or said something on the couch that was somebody else's joke. Yes. And it was like, well, you ruined it for that person.
Yeah,
like
that's right.
Then,
it's like if McDonald's starts serving the signature
it's a difference between
Shane sandwich.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck!
Yeah.
The signature Shane! Deep fried portobello mushroom that you throw away and then it's a hamburger?
So
Nobody wants that.
It pops it back out, yeah.
Every bite pops out another veggie.
I think, it's
that
very
wasn't a fat joke. Was that why you paused?
No. I got
But I just said the gross stuff. The gross stuff.
No,
I saw you get a
that wasn't a fat joke.
Was that a fat? You didn't think I was a
I didn't register that way.
And then it's worse because
But now that I know how you truly see me.
Well, I thought you could have called your special the strong kind of fat. That line.
Did you like it?
I mean, I wish I could have sex with that line.
That was the thing we used to say all the time.
Oh, no, he's the strong kind of fat. This episode is brought to us by our friends at Air Doctor. Americans spend an average of 90% of their time indoors and take about 20,000 breaths a day. And the indoor air that we breathe is 2 to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air, and in some cases up to 100 times more polluted, according to the EPA. And did you know that air pollution is responsible for nearly 7 million premature deaths globally? So, what's the solution? Introducing the air purifier that captured the attention of established media outlets such as CNN, Money, ABC, and more. Air Doctor. Air Doctor filters out 99.99% of dangerous contaminants so your lungs don't have to. This includes pollutants such as allergens, pollen, pet dander, dust mites, mold spores, and even bacteria and viruses that make you sick. It is sleek, it is cool, it is quiet, and it does the job. Air Doctor comes with a 30-day breathe easy money-back guarantee, so if you don't love it, just send it back for a refund minus shipping. Head to airdoctorpro.com and use promo code Pete. You'll receive up to $300 off air purifiers exclusive to weirdos. You'll also receive a 3-year warranty on any unit, which is an additional $84 value. Lock in this special offer by going to Air Doctor Pro, AIRDOCTORPRO.com and use promo code Pete. Support the show, support your lungs, support your life, support your air. Air Doctor. It's also brought to us by my new favorite apparel company, Roosevelt's. I have been wearing Roosevelt's on talk shows. I've been wearing them out on dates. I've even worn them on red carpets. It is incredible clothing that feels amazing, looks amazing, is built high quality, and they're also really, really fun. It's an apparel brand born from their passion for pop culture and Americana, which means they weave fun things into their designs that you will recognize, relate to, and love. It's a great conversation starter. It's a great way to show people what you're into, and it'll bring out your inner extrovert. Does that make sense? Your inner extrovert. Wear it to a party, wear it to a show. It's fun, it's light, it feels great on your body, and it looks super cool. Anything from Star Wars to Disney to Nickelodeon. They got Big Lebowski, The Office. They also have more classic, kind of more grown, kind of looking formal stuff that I also love that doesn't incorporate the pop culture. But if you've been looking for a gift for a fan of The Office, for a fan of Jurassic Park, Star Wars, whatever it may be, Roosevelt's has you covered. Literally. I love their signature Cunaflex 4-way stretch material. It's moisture wicking, it's light, it's soft, it's stretchy, and fits so damn nice. It's extremely breathable, and the patterns are super, super fun. They also have hats, bomber jackets, performance hoodies, and shorts. It's a small punk rock grassroots company that I love working with, and everything that I've gotten from them became an instant favorite. So if you're looking for a new shirt, a new hoodie, whatever it might be, a new jacket, a hat, for you or someone you love. It's perfect for gifts. It's also perfect just to spice up your own wardrobe. Give them a try. Go to Roosevelt's RSVLTS. So don't write out Roosevelt's, RSVLTS. Check them out. Roosevelts.com, RSVLTS.com, or check them out on Instagram at RSVLTS. You won't be disappointed. Back to Shane.
Do you ever, when you've trimmed down a bit?
I have, but I still identify as a soft boy.
Yeah.
I like it.
It never goes away. Like, you're always a fat kid.
No,
like,
I know.
Yeah.
I used to have this line. I go, if you're the fattest kid in your class, you're the fat kid. And I was. Yeah. You know what I mean? I wasn't like a donut
That's
hole.
actually very, like, I know that's like an obvious observation.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but it's like, it is like one
but
of those.
But it's also like
it's.
But then another kid came.
Yeah, like even if.
Another kid came, he was a little soft, and I was like, fucking yes!
Yeah.
But he wasn't bigger than me. He couldn't dethrone me.
And you also get to be like, we're not friends. Like he did.
Oh, we weren't friends. I couldn't wait to call his fingers sausage fingers. It's like, look at him trying to tie his shoes.
What?
Why are we turning on each other? It's fat on fat violence.
I know.
Leave him be.
We could conquer them together.
We could join forces.
We could rout the Thins.
Your language, man, is so. You should be so proud.
Thank you.
You're such a good writer. Also, another compliment, and then we'll get back to
where
a couple
we're
irons
going.
in the fire. But like, the other compliment I want to give you is that like I have to give myself the note slow down a lot, and you do not need that.
I'm pretty deliberate there.
You're right. You're right on the money.
I worry about that. Do you tell yourself to slow down sometimes?
My wife. So last night at Largo, I got off stage, and Val was like, "That's exactly where you should be." She's not my manager, but she knows. I love her. She goes, that when I'm telling you,
the people who you are closest to can like know your art. Yes,
but
like in a way.
I knew what she meant.
Yeah.
I knew she was talking about speed.
Yeah, like,
and she was like, "That's the level. Stay playful, stay present." And I can be high processing, and I've heard the joke before, so I want to be like, and then I'm like, "Where are you?" And Val's always like, "They didn't have time to."
You're eating them alive, kind of. Yeah,
you're eating them alive.
Yeah, because like you don't.
You're eating them alive.
That's not bad. I think that could be the name of your special. That could be the name of your special.
You're eating them alive.
And then you're just like, there's like feet and people screaming coming out of your, like you can do like you get that. Yeah.
Toes are the new shrimp. Oh, God. And then that's another great, sorry for all the, you have to watch the special, but he has this line where he goes, I'm going to get eaten by a cannibal. He's like, and they're going to start with the toes. Toes are the new shrimp.
Yeah.
And I go, well, that's funny. And then you go, because you have to peel them. And I was like, God damn it. Every time. No stone left unturned.
Tagging them up.
You're tagging.
Yeah. I worry that I don't go fast enough sometimes. Like I'm pretty deliberate with my pace, but like I wish I want my gear to go a little faster. So, like I want to like throw a flurry of speed, like bang, bang, bang kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'm like, I'm pretty measured, like I'm a waltz for sure.
It just matters what you're going for, what kind of music you want to make with the audience. And I
and
sometimes,
in the bit, it's and the kind of the
for
bit.
Sure. And what kind of music does the bit want you to make?
Yeah.
But I have to check myself because I'm often wanting speed metal. Like I want it to sound like every line fucking grand slam. And it was Birbiglia who came up earlier that was like, no, he's like, a good album is like this.
You have
to have moments where it sizzles out a little bit. And so I have no issue with your pitch.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. But like,
all right, let's start recording.
I guess like, when you're doing your comedy, does tone enter into how you're delivering something? Because like for me, it's like
vocal tone.
Yeah. Like, because like that was like my first tool in comedy I had a good sense of. Because I just like, I learned that like lower, quiet, or like warmer, softer, heavier, like in my voice, whatever the timbre is, controls a room so easily. If you know how to do it, like.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll write down notes after a show. I have a joke where someone's driving off the road and I just went, bye. And I tried it lots of different ways. Bye. Yeah. And I was like, you have to do it. Bye. And I write down airy and soft. Yeah. Like it has to be like, bye.
That is so wild.
That's the only way it's funny.
That's wild because I've been there 1,000 times. Or you pitch something, like if you go higher, like, and then I said, and
forget it.
No, it's not landing.
Well, I learned that doing theater. There were some nights we'd have like a night that we nailed it in college, just college theater. And like, it got an applause. This is before I'm even doing stand-up.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm going to do that again. Next night I'm doing it as if I'm going to get an applause.
And you have the energy
you get no applause.
of anticipation of it going.
People hate it. People hate it.
And you fuck it up because you know it went well. That's the irony
think of
of
a salesman that's like, I'm about to sell you a car. You think I'm wrong? Fuck you. What are you driving now, you piece of shit? And you're just like, I don't care what this guy says.
Yeah, he could give it to me. I'm not taking the key. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
The car could come with a wish for another car.
That's so crazy. That's how it translated.
Yeah.
The reason it translated poorly the second night is because it went so well the first night and you got better.
Yes.
And you observed that it went well.
Which is another reason I don't want to do it too much. Because if I get it in my blood that I'm like, this works, it's so much better to be like, is this gonna work? Last night I'm about to go on stage and I always have to tell my friends in the green room, I'm like, I'm not doing this for attention. I'm looking at my notes and I'm like, I really don't know if I have it. Because they're always like, how long are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And usually I do 40 minutes to an hour up top.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
isn't Flanagan the best, by the way?
how long are you gonna do? Yeah, he's the king.
Yeah.
And every fucking month for years, I go, I don't know, man. Like 15, I don't know. And then like cut to me 40 minutes later. Because I'm remember that first laugh is such a
It's a buffet, man. Like you'll keep going. If you have room, you'll keep eating. Like that's
eating
like
them alive,
dude. Go get some. But I can't. I do that to myself too on my own shows.
What do you mean?
Like I will like. I'm still in clubs, so if I like, it's like
I do clubs.
Yeah. I will be like, if it's cooking on the first show, I'm like, I'm going. I'm gonna keep going, and then I'll be like, I have to tell the people like, give me a second really hard light. Because I won't pull the parachute.
That's really good. See, one of the things that I struggle with at clubs, you're doing 2 shows, and I just know that I want to go out and be ravenous for it, and go like, I'm giving it everything. So I love like the one show nights.
I want to do
theaters.
That is the plus of theaters. Like,
I want to do theaters, but it's not even just for me. It's better for everybody.
Yeah.
I want to go out and be like, I'd rather do 90 minutes once
than
45
like, twice.
Oh, I got the light.
Yeah.
And like, although that helps too.
The reset is what is the worst part. Like coming down and coming back up. It's kind of like
me in between shows. What are we doing? I can't.
I gotta like not be. I used to like walk around and shake hands. I mean, I still will shake hands with people, but like. I would like go to a bar or something, Oh,
you'd leave, you'd change. Yeah, I think that's smart.
Yeah.
I'm turning the lights off.
Because I don't want my momentum to like, if I sit down and just, all right, here's my horrible sandwich or what,
It's too much.
It's a lot of
It's a dream job.
It's a barometric drop though.
It is.
Yeah.
And then you go out in that second audience and you are comparing it to the first audience.
Oh, of course.
And what is worse?
That's why late shows are the harder shows of the week. It's not because they're later.
And they're often better, though. I mean, they can be better.
Yeah.
But not for me necessarily, because there's just more math happening. I'm
yes.
Like, okay. And
but the thing is, if the first show's not great or you don't have the show you want, that late show is there to make you feel better.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it's often the other way. I just did a weekend, and the Friday.
Where were you?
Where was it? It was where I was on New Year's. It was in Arizona. So it was in Tempe.
Okay.
Tempe, Arizona. Friday night, dude, 20 years, 2 of the best shows of my life. And Neil Brennan was we were talking about it. And I was like, I didn't think it was going to be great because it was New Year's weekend. So I was like, I don't know. It just seems like it might be juiced up and kind of stupid.
Yeah.
And they might be really drunk. And then I get out there and like, I'm watching Matt, my opener, and he's murdering. And I'm like, wait, don't believe it. Then I go out. I was like, I wish we had filmed this for TV. It was the best set. Then we're like, well, the second show, we always try to stay positive. We're like, it's going to be even better. But in my heart, I'm like, what if it sucks?
Practically speaking, yes.
But then I go out,
you do want it to be. Yeah.
And it's better. And then I'm like, this is incredible. Friday was incredible. Yeah. Saturday is like the New Year's Eve. Yeah. Or whatever the nights are. The second
Sunday
night
was New Year's because I'd had New Year's gigs.
Okay, so Saturday was the first night. Then the Sunday was New Year's Eve, and I'm doing the shows. And I go out as New Year's. It's going to be even better. Last night was 2 of the best. It like revitalized my love of comedy. Neil Brennan said, he was like, well, dopamine is released when expectations are exceeded. Like if you go in going like this is going to be great and it's great, it's less dopamine than if you're like I don't know about this and it's great.
Really?
So I got incredibly high from it. Then the second night, and it was fine. It just wasn't. To anybody that was at that show, thank you for coming. It was. I
always forget we're being recorded.
Right?
Yeah.
But it was good, and they liked it. But I was like, you don't realize last night. Like right now we're having sex, but last night was an orgy.
Yeah,
like there was an orgy.
It was
last
like
night.
Caligula level, kind of like.
It was insane.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But and that was a real come down.
Yeah.
And kind of a. It was just sort of humbling. It brought me back to earth, and I was like, I would have rather done that the opposite order.
Yes.
Because then I would have been on that plane.
Yeah, being like, I got it.
What's better? Dude,
leaving a good weekend on a plane. Yeah.
The king.
It's the best.
You're the king.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. The seat doesn't recline.
I
You're
felt
like,
so
"I
good
care.
about this past weekend.
My inside seat reclines.
I felt so good about this past weekend. I had good shows and we sold really well.
Where were you?
I was in New Mexico. I was in Albuquerque, which is like they have opened a new club there, and it's okay. But it's Agent Steve Gomez's club from Breaking Bad, Hank's partner.
Oh no way!
Yeah. He's a comic. Yeah. It's like it's very new, so they're getting it right. You know, but I was like, I would change. They were like, what did you think between the first and second shows? I would change this, and they literally changed it in between shows.
Really?
I was like,
did you say don't do a check drop?
I said they don't. They do kiosk and they pay on phone, so they.
No check drop.
Yeah, no check drop.
Some of the greatest clubs in the country, still there's a check drop.
Yeah.
Which is for everybody, I'm sure you guys know this, but it's like around 40 minutes
It's
into
an
your
interruption
hour,
of your momentum.
everyone gets the bill.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck.
I tell them, I try, like, I can request certain things at the space I'm at. Yeah. And that's one of the things I'll kind of be like, can we do the check drop? Right. I'll stick to my time if you do the check drop after my, like.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's such a small change.
Yeah, but it's massive. Yeah.
Oh, for us, it's.
Yeah.
It can be life and death for that moment.
They had a clock off to the side of the stage that you could see if you like looked for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys got to either move this to the front of the stage at the foot or like somewhere I can. And they just.
Island. And they did it.
Yeah, like right then. And I was like, it needs to count up, not down.
Oh,
For me, that's what
clock off.
Your clock off?
Turn that clock off. If I get on stage and the clock is on, because sometimes they change sound engineers between nights. So Thursday, I'm like, please turn the clock off. Then on Friday, I go out. It's a different guy. The clock's on. This red clock counting down.
Yeah.
Or counting up. I'm like,
I like countdown gives me like anxiety.
Of course. What happens at 0?
yeah, it's very.
But I hate. But I'll make a bit out of it. I go, can you turn that clock off? It really makes this feel like a job. And I'm not here to do my time.
Yeah.
I've said this a million, but it's such a shift. It's like, I don't have to do an hour. That's what the clock says. I get to do as long as I want. That's what comedy
That's
is.
really nice.
You know, it's a shift.
Yeah.
I'm not here to do my time or fulfill a contract. I'm here to fuck around. I'm here to play grab ass. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I don't, that's a very.
You've only been on 10 minutes. I'm like, eat shit.
That is a good thought.
It's a shift.
That's a nice way to think about it. I don't like that just the presence of the clock can be a limitation.
I hate it.
I think that's really valuable.
And then you know what else I like is an early light.
Yeah.
I go, give me like a 40-minute light. Yeah. Sometimes I do a 30-minute light.
That's bananas.
I just want to know I'm halfway.
Yeah, that's so wild.
Because then you're like, wow, I'm already at 30. I don't do that anymore.
This is all it goes to say. I had good shows,
yes.
and I got on my flight, and I was feeling very good. And then I sat in the guy's seat next to me, like I sat in the wrong seat just by a habit.
Yeah.
And it was ludicrous.
The situation?
It was Chris Bridges.
It was ludicrous.
Yeah. And he was like, it's cool. Like, it just sat, yeah. But then.
Can I say I like ludicrous?
Yeah, it was nice.
I like that moment.
Yeah, it was
he
like.
Let you keep. Where were you? Aisle or window?
I went window because I normally go window, but they.
You keep window?
Yes. But we were in first class, obviously.
But still.
Like, obviously.
Window's got all the power.
It does have all the power.
Window's got that window.
It's even a power to be like, I have to pee.
That's the big power.
Yeah.
You get up.
Yeah. I have never seen anyone more disinterested to be on a flight than him. But
I connect a lot. Window on the first flight because I'm going to sleep. Aisle on the second flight because I'm going to be peeing a lot.
Is that
is worth
that really your
is that
logic?
worth mentioning?
Is that really your
It is because the first flight I want to sleep, but I don't want anyone going by me. Second one, I'm like, I don't care. Give me that access.
That's great.
These are two road guys.
Yeah. But it was very funny because
Where are you on minibars?
He had a mask and like sunglasses on. You know, like I think he.
For privacy.
Yeah, I think he was like COVID,
okay.
But he, I didn't recognize it at first, and then the woman called me his name, and he got called my name, and the guy that was traveling, one of the guys that was traveling with him, just looked back at me and just started laughing and smiling. He goes, "Mr. Bridges,"
hilarious.
Yeah, so funny. And then also another celebrity behind us, kind of.
Crystalia was behind.
Yeah, I was like,
you whisper.
I was like, if this flight goes down, I will not be mentioned as the most of anything, good, bad, or anything.
I'm not. Mark Maron made the same joke about his flight to Montreal.
Did he really?
I won't even be in the article. Wow, Crystalia.
Maybe I wonder if that was a sucked up thing. I feel like I've heard him, or remember him saying that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we need to get over ourselves.
Yeah,
jokes be happening. That's why I turned it off.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have turned your bit off if I was like, I don't steal jokes. You don't know. Yeah. Like, get over yourself. You're trying to put things together. Like, where do your ideas come from? And you're flowing around.
Yeah, like you
around.
have to like.
Also,
there's a point of inspiration and stuff that is completely acceptable from your peers, like to inspire material, like and then there's a point of like, whatever that line of crossing it is, like between blatant stealing and like.
I agree.
Like,
I'll give you an example. Jake Johansson had a joke about the shoe bomber.
See, that's something I'm talking about. People,
what I'm doing right now.
Yeah,
no, talking about comedy.
Kids don't know who Jake Johansson is, and he was the biggest comic in the world for a little while.
Yeah, and he's hilarious.
Kids don't know.
Yeah,
I said, but that's a thing that is kind of upsetting that they like. He's great.
Yeah,
he's a wonderful talent. Very nice. I met him once. But
he is very nice.
Nobody knows who he is. Like that started in the past 5 years. You know,
right,
and that is kind of bad.
It is bad.
Yeah.
You know who didn't do this, by the way?
Who?
Bo Burnham. You'll never meet a greater, maybe you will, but like he's a great student of comedy.
Is he really?
He would know who Jake Johansson is. He would have.
That's
seen
great. Yeah.
And when he was young, and that was my counterpoint.
But he's
to
a
what
peer
you were
too.
saying. What's that? He's younger than us. We forget.
How?
He's like 21. He's very young.
Yeah, but
still
he is. But he also he's a veteran of a long time in comedy.
That's true.
Yeah.
But when he's
been doing it longer
out,
than I have, I think.
Yes, but when he was starting out, I think he really sponged it up.
Yes, and that's what is valuable. I think it was like, I think my point to all of this being isn't like they don't know who we are. It's like, no, this is valuable. Like you learn things by watching these people.
Yeah.
Like that is what is upsetting, as opposed to like, I heard this kid say the other day, like I got to start making sketches. They're going off on TikTok.
That's sad.
And my buddy Steve goes, do you want to be making sketches? And the guy goes, no. But they're blowing up on TikTok.
My dick is inside my body right now. I hate this.
Yeah, but we're
not day traders.
No, that's
Sears is hot.
Yeah.
Move all the shit. Getting on with the
and
comedy
they don't know
broker.
Sears either.
That is so funny. They don't know Sears.
Mervin's.
But
Sears.
You have to call your manager and be like, move it all from stand-up into sketch.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's like...
Because that's where the money and the fame is? It's like, fuck off.
Eat shit. And you don't, like... And that's the thing, we need it to be... Like, you started doing this because you thought it would be a fun way to make a living and a life in some way. Like, you thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
And then you were like, well, you thought maybe I can make a career out of this.
Yeah.
And what would be better than that? My dad had horrible jobs.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Yeah.
Like, or jobs that he hated. You know, like, never had a job he wanted.
Yeah.
I know I didn't want to do that. Yeah,
right, of course. Yeah. Of course.
When he had jobs.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean, but I would add to that, and obviously, so I was shooting this movie, and I got really...
Is it out?
No, it won't be out till next Christmas, but...
What's the movie?
It's called The Best Christmas Pageant Ever.
Really?
Lionsgate presents. So
Pete Holmes.
I have to do this.
Is Christ.
Pete Holmes, finally, as Christ.
In the role we've all been asking for. Pete Holmes is the Griswold's Christmas tree.
It's funny that I do some Christmas tree gags.
So, do you really?
That was fun. But anyway, I was on ice a lot. I was waiting around a lot.
Yeah.
I just got really low. And then when I did stand-up last night, it's like your ghost goes back into your body. You know what I'm saying? Like your soul.
There's color in your
returns
face again.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's like Conan in Conan O'Brien Can't Stop says, he's like, if I'm ever dying in the hospital, just wheel me out in front of a college crowd. that's like 20,000 college kids just going nuts. He's like, it brings life back to him. So I'm just adding the dimension of compulsion, meaning I was wrong. I was off, meaning I did want to make my living in a different way. And I was just talking to, it was Judd Apatow about this. I just didn't want to be named.
Is he nice?
He's wonderful.
I met him one time.
He's a delight.
Yeah, I met him one time. He's nice. Yeah,
you'd love him. He's just a dad in New Balance sneakers. That's all, that's what he is, for sure. Yeah. Just a sweetheart. And
you know what he doesn't get enough credit for? Being handsome in the way like old, like he to me is like a handsome guy. He has that beard. What's the name? Not
Bob Vila.
No, kind of. Yes.
I always call him Bob Vila.
Like who's in the Barbarians at the Gate movie? It's like a goddamn. Like I was gonna say Bill Barr, but that was like
Bill
Trump's.
Barr?
Yeah, I was like, and that's not who I was. That's not who I meant. But yeah, he has a very regal look to his face.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, like it's just classic looking in a way.
I agree. Give him a crown.
Yeah,
I'd like to see like a white cheetah. Kind of, where do they get those white cheetahs? What was that? Just owl?
How much do you think he could get away with doing like strange clothing choices? Like at that
and
level,
a scepter?
But like nudging him in, like Jed's got a pinky ring. Like you know, like if he just
slowly,
like how
slow boil.
How far can he go? Like,
one day he's got that pinky ring. Yeah. We work our way up to scepter and throne.
Yeah, and like he's like start making bold sneaker choices, or like say like he came in and leaned on the light switch and the lights went off, but he just kept talking and broke no.
That is a great example
of like how far can you like.
And also how you're funny. Like, that's so specific and just right on
like,
the
I was just like, yeah, Pete, no, it was great to see you. And then the lights go off. But, like, I was thinking, are you going to be at Largo again? I'd love to stop by sometime. Like,
can we say that the first king who wore a crown probably felt self-conscious about it? They were like,
a bit.
My lord, you should wear
like
this
to be anointed.
The first time. Like, it's not a thing yet.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he goes out in front of his subjects and he's like, he's wearing a fucking Burger King birthday hat.
This guy's in charge of me? His blood is better than my blood.
Isn't it a bit much? The red robe, the velour robe. I have the stick and a crown.
I was fine with the chair.
The chair was enough.
Yeah.
The chair was enough.
We all got it. That was his. I get it.
I mean, it's like wearing a fedora for the first time, which I'm sure that's somebody else's bit.
I had a bit that was like the first anything, like the first time anyone does anything.
Jim Gaffigan, the first time someone used an umbrella. They were like, look at that fucking guy. Can't get wet.
Oh.
I mean, this isn't even theft. This is what I'm saying is we're all just kind of noticing a style of comedy is who was the first person that did that. That's just a way in.
That's a
But we learned it from somebody.
Yeah. And that's how you can leap into a I was trying to do like, who was like you scare a bear away, like you raise your arms. Like it was like, who's the first guy to try that? Like it's very like
bold.
Yeah.
Oh, my friend Jeff Klinger had a joke about how tomato juice gets
Boston
the
guy?
smell. Chicago guy.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Boston guy.
Yeah.
Fucking Klinger.
Klinger.
We're going over to Klinger's. He's got
it also sounds like a Chicago guy too. Like
it does.
We're going down to Klinger's. Yeah. Mine sounds the Boston and Chicago sound the same coming out of my mouth.
I liked both of them.
Okay.
They passed my ear test. But Jeff Klinger had a joke about the first guy that tried tomato juice to get the smell of skunk out. And like, what did he try before that? And I was like, you don't know until you know.
Yeah.
And he did it as a journalist. It was like day one. And he did like what it was.
So funny.
Still smell like skunk.
And you could take it out for as long as you... Have you ever sprayed by a skunk?
No.
I have.
My dog has.
Your dog has?
Yeah,
I did it.
You did?
I did, yeah. We grew up in so my room was by the garage in our house, and I heard somebody in the garage in the middle of the night, and I was like, wait, I wasn't in the worst neighborhood or anything like that, but it was one of these things, like I was like 15, like people would break in and steal stuff from people's garages and stuff. Like probably usually other kids trying to like get rid of shit.
The garage, the unoccupied house.
Yes.
The empty house.
Or so I thought. And I came out, and I had like a bat or a hockey stick or something, and there was just like a skunk rummaging through our trash, and I was just like, ah! And it also like paused up.
It did the same thing to you.
Yeah, and then it just goes, and then it sprayed me, and I was like, God damn it! And I was like, I could have just left. I could have just like, I knew what was gonna happen. Like I got deer.
That's from the movie The Town, where they push the silent alarm, and Jeremy Renner goes, "We were leaving." We we were leaving. And then he hit somebody. He was like, we were going to go. Like,
you did this time.
This was done. Now
we knew you were going to hit it when we weren't here.
Yeah. Let us go.
God,
there's an etiquette here.
That's so fucking funny. I've seen that movie so many times, and I didn't know.
We like a lot of the same movies.
Shows you how smart we are.
Or, yeah, go on.
But then I walked into the house because my mom was home, and I walked in, and she woke up. The smell was so pungent, it woke her up.
When a smell wakes you.
That is.
Nobody wants a smell.
That's insane.
A smell wake?
A smell wake?
Unless it's bacon or coffee.
Or coffee. Yeah. What would be another nice thing though?
If this was a different podcast.
Yeah.
You know the smell I'm talking about, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feet.
Somebody's peeling the body shrimp. Oh, no. See, you're a surgeon. That's too far. You knew. Don't call it the body shrimp.
I wonder what a good smell to wake up to would be.
Well, bacon, coffee, rain, the smell of rain.
I do like wet
grass, wet earth.
Do you think?
I'm gonna get a little sentimental, but my daughter smells like strawberry milk, and if she crawls in bed with me and I smell strawberry milk, I'm just like, I could cry.
Yeah,
it's the greatest.
How old is she now?
I don't know.
Okay, that's good.
That's a bit.
But she's getting taller?
She's 5. Yeah, she's 5. She's tall as a 7-year-old. She's fucking Shaquille.
That is nice. Actually, yeah.
Tell me.
My favorite thing.
What happened with the skunk?
Yeah, that was pretty much
it. Yeah, by doing my
favorite thing is
yelling.
Since you're a taken man now.
Yeah. Spoken for.
Yeah. My favorite thing is
this was something we were all doing. Sorry, ladies, and then it changed to sorry, fellas.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to violate.
And now it's like, does anyone want me?
Yeah. Now we're just back. We've gone so full circle. We're just like, I saw a comic.
I make a decent living. I just say things like,
I saw a comic at the Improv do something I haven't seen someone do in a long time, which he's talking about being single. And he was like, I'll be at the bar after the show. And I was like, is this an evening at the Improv? Oh. Like we used to do that. Like that was part of comedy. It would be like, if you like my show, I'll be at the bar. Like, I'm not joking. Like that sort of thing. And he did it. And I was like, it's like when I called somebody in the crowd sweetheart and she went, sweetheart?
Yeah.
And I was like, right, it's not 1972.
Yeah. Also, sometimes it's fine. Like
I agree.
I know, like,
you gotta pick your moment.
I will call my friends' wives that sometimes. Like it's good to see.
Yeah.
But it's like,
a good sweetheart?
Yeah.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
I love
that.
sweetheart.
Yeah, I miss
a good one.
I miss that.
Not a waitress one.
I guess it is old fashioned, but like, you know what I wish? If like I could still stand up when a woman leaves the room or enters the room, and somebody wouldn't call me an asshole for doing it.
Now we're old farts.
Yeah.
But I'm with you.
If someone did that?
How about hats off in an elevator?
Oh, hats off indoors. That's
Just
like a huge
hats off
thing.
Indoors. Yeah, take your fucking hat off.
Yeah.
You fuck.
My mom would not let people wear hats inside the house. And if they did it, this was a thing, because she was like from Ireland. It was very old fashioned. She would take their hats, cover them in water, and then put them in the freezer.
Freeze a hat.
Yeah.
She made a flavor ice out of their hat.
Yeah. And then that was my snack. Like
head flavor.
Nick Murphy's. Nick Murphy
presents.
Is my.
You're eating me alive. That's great.
She would do that though.
But I think what we're going back to everything we've been talking about is we're depraved of any sort of semblance of culture. Meaning, I wanted for the longest time to do a joke about how the patriarchy, and I get it. It's kind of Bill Burry in that, like, I understand. Like you say in your act, it's like, I'm a liberal cuck like all of you.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was a great line. I was like, I'm with it. Feminist with it. And then but I wanted to be like, you realize some of it was good PR for you guys. Like we're out there making this impossible standard for you, but you're over here going like, but my pussy bleeds and there's snot in it, and it's like, we know, we're trying to help. We're making the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like that's like the point like every dickhead makes to be like, it's not the same because you like they raise like that issue, and they're like it's a valid point. Yeah.
Dude, I'm with you. Like jokes like that, I've never done that joke on stage, and I won't. I said it in conversation once, and it made my friend laugh really hard, and I was like, maybe that's a bit. But I was like, if you're doing a bit where like you really, really, really need them to understand like 3 levels, like It's the joke. It's also kind of that I'm
you gotta
doing the joke.
have your they have to be
They have to be your audience.
and you can't like you that's further into the hour.
I have that joke about I don't say Merry Christmas. I say May the birth of the one and only true God Jesus Christ. I do this whole thing.
Oh yeah,
and
I like that. Yeah,
thanks, man.
yeah.
And there were certain crowds, and I was fine with it, but there were certain crowds I was like, they just like this joke. They like that I'm like the true God, and they're like, yeah. Like
they're not getting this in.
And I was like, no, it's a joke. It's a joke. I'm making it worse. Like,
isn't it weird how people absorb you?
Yeah.
Like,
but that goes back to what we were saying about there being too much content and what I was talking to Jed about. It's like this thing that we got into to salve ourselves. Like I didn't know if I existed as a child, and at times. And I didn't know if I was being heard. So, of course, it makes sense that I got into a job where I'm heard. But now there's so many specials. This all sounds
pretty familiar.
And so many TV shows. Yeah. You know, what do you mean?
Like your feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have a very similar, like.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
And now it's like a weird thing where it's like the Obamas have a Netflix deal. It's like, or everyone has a podcast. Everybody's invited. But at the same time, I'm like, do you need this? Because I'm over here needing this.
Yeah, and you...
like, do you... I don't mean financially. I mean psychologically and emotionally.
And the other thing is that you need, and that I need, and a lot of other people need, they need to make it well. It needs to be good.
Yeah.
Some people are just making shit.
Yeah. Well, that's the people that go, sketches are blowing up on TikTok.
Yeah.
Podcasts, there's a lot of money to be made in my manager told me there's a lot of money to be made in podcasts. And I'm like, what are we going to do? Puppet shows under the bridge? Where are we going to be pure?
Where is it? Where is it for you? Because my job as a comedian is to tell people how I see the world.
Yeah.
And somebody is telling you, this is how you need to tell people you see the world through this thing. Like, and that's
interesting.
Bad for you. Like, then that's bad for comedy, especially if it becomes a success. Like
Troubletown.
Yeah.
Troubletown.
I think, but I just get so goddamn irritated by it. Like,
it's so goddamn irritated.
I'm
with you.
I'm trying to, and I don't want to be that way. So that's why I bring this up and I talk to people I know who have.
I think it's really powerful to focus on what you want and not what you don't want. So like I realized it's stupid, but I've been listening to these Tony. I've been in a rut. So I listened to Tony Robbins on Theo Von, The Funny Sentence, and then I was getting into the Funny Sentence.
The Funny Sentence. Good name for a podcast.
The Funny Sentence.
Yeah,
but it's a judge.
Yeah.
It's Judge Judy.
Yeah.
I sentence you to 4 weeks in a banana peel pile. Judy.
Oh, God. I sentence you to Christmas vacation.
Meaning everyone in your family is going to be saying the lines from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and you don't have the lines.
Yeah.
That's your sentence.
You have to be Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Man,
I forget what I was saying.
I don't.
Sentence. Theo. So Tony
Theo,
Robbins.
yes.
He was just saying, like, just be careful with things that you can't control and you can't even influence, but you obsess about. And he was like, make a list of the things that you spend a lot of time. He's trying to get time back in your life and control of your time. And I felt very challenged by that because I was like, the amount of time I spend thinking about how my mom is feeling, like something I can't affect it nearly as much as I think, because when I was a magical little boy, I thought I could. I'll go in and be like, your homeless guy sound was so fucking funny. What is it? It's like, you go, classic homeless guy.
I want that to be a home. I want to see a homeless guy like
with that
5
kind
o'clock
of
shadow who still has like a hat, you know,
with
like,
the bindle.
Yeah. I want like
and the nice coat.
Yeah.
If I saw that hobo now,
I'd be like, this guy makes good coffee.
Bloomingdale's.
Yeah.
This guy makes good coffee.
Yeah. Like
that's my joke from Bonnaroo or South by Southwest. I'd always be like, I'm walking around playing a fun game called Guess Who's Homeless. It's impossible to win.
It is bananas at those.
Yeah.
Do you still do festivals? Do you still do?
I haven't done one in a while, but
those are like still very fun. Those are like the things.
Well, it's summer camp.
Yeah,
you get to see.
Comedy festivals, but like they don't have comedy at Bonnaroo anymore, and I think that's my fault.
What do you mean? What happened?
I told.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Nobody heard you on About Last Night with Adam Ray. Nobody heard that. I'm just kidding. I love Adam. I wanted to plug his podcast.
He's great.
He's awesome.
I did it in 2018. I think was like
it was the last year.
Yeah, it was the last year.
This is gold.
And I know you know this, but I did that Guy Fieri bit, and that kind of like people It caught a little bit of wind, right? And that's why one of the reasons I had the like profile that they would book me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sorry.
It's Guy Fieri.
Oh God, I wish.
You talking about me?
Yeah.
My fajitas are burning. His ears don't burn.
Yeah.
My fajita plate is sizzling.
My ears are sizzling.
I bet Guy Fieri's ears are hot. Like I bet if you touch him at any time,
He's just kind of like it's like when you're like, oh yeah, I can't touch things when they're I can't touch electric outlet with the
You can't touch Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
He's like a 9-volt battery. You can't touch him. Fieri.
But I was talking to the head of the festival, and they're like, we're excited to have somebody from the festival that was a big muckety muck, and they were like, we're excited to have you. I was like, thanks. And they go, we're not supposed to tell you this, but there's a secret Cage the Elephant show tonight, and we're going to put an alert out at 11:30. But you should know, And I was like,
you can go early.
And yeah,
go.
Yeah, and you can go and I was like, thank you very much. And I was like, I'm gonna go do my set. And they were like, great, can't wait to see it. And I just walk on stage and was like, you guys go to Secret Cage the Elephant show tonight? And
no,
it gets so much worse.
No on a dick. No on a dick. I'm saying
I was drinking so much because it was also the year my mom had died, and I was like really like plastered. Yeah, like I was kind of like in the bottle at these things. And there was the year Tom Petty had died, and they had the Heartbreakers come, and they had people from the festival like come sing and do the songs. It was very cool. Yeah, and
because it's so sad. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it was lovely. It was great. It was like
but it's heavy.
Yeah, but also really beautiful. Like it was like a very great celebration.
Yeah,
for him. And I went to the Heartbreakers Super Jam or whatever it was called, and this person was standing next to me. They're like, "This is great, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's really amazing." And I was like liquored up, just trying to be like, don't get in trouble. And Sheryl Crow came out to sing American Girl. And she goes, this is awesome, right? And I was like, I really don't give a shit about Melissa Etheridge.
This is one of the promoters.
This is somebody who's like
helping book. Yeah, an important person.
Yeah.
And then, I'm not an Etheridge fan. Here's one of the funniest things you could have said.
I'm
not an Etheridge fan. Go on.
I'm not even. And then like.
You're just getting warmed up?
Yeah. The next day I'm going.
Wait, let's slow this down because it's too good. After the Cage the Elephant,
they were fine. They were like they laughed it off. They were like, it's like I guess they were gonna know anyways. Like, but they were extremely gracious, is what I will say.
I can't believe that they weren't really pissed about that, but pretty cool. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Maybe they were, but to me they were very nice.
Yeah. They had time to cool off.
Yes.
How long was your set? So they had at least 20 minutes to slow down.
Yeah. But this was also like a day later. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the next day, they were like, we need someone to go up right now. And I was like, sure, I'll do it. I don't care. Like somebody wasn't there or whatever. And I was on autopilot, and I started into the Guy Fieri bit, but Anthony Bourdain had died 2 days before, and I talk about him in the bit in a not great way, and everybody was just like, whoa. And I had to like just double down and be like, no! It gets so much worse. Because I say he seems like the kind of person who would be mean to dogs in the bit, and everybody was like, Jesus! And I was like, I wrote it before yesterday, pussies.
No!
Yeah. And then I took a shit in the killer's bathroom on accident, and I think that was the final straw.
Oh my God. Somebody told me you have a bathroom.
Smart pee like you mean it.
This episode is brought to us by ARMRA Colostrum. Colostrum from ARMRA, which is no exaggeration, changing my life. We've been doing these ads for a while now, which means I've been using it for a while now, and I 100% am seeing a difference in my skin, in my breathing, in my energy, in my recovery, in my hair, in my nails. It is incredible. I've started taking a couple during the day. And just anecdotally speaking, everyone in my family is currently sick except old Holmesy. So I've got them on it now. I'm like, you got to get ARMRA Immune Revival into your system. Everyone's talking about colostrum. What is it? It is the first nutrition we receive in life and contains all of the essential nutrients our bodies need to thrive. And ARMRA is just these little convenient pouches. They come in flavor. The blood orange is quite good. Or unflavored. I've even been known to tear one open, pour it in my mouth directly, and and just wash it down with some water because it doesn't really taste like anything, but it feels like everything. I'm talking about reactivating hair growth, glowing skin by reducing inflammation and puffiness in your face and neck, as well as stimulating stem cells to produce collagen and increase elasticity in your skin and your face. Talking about igniting your metabolism and fortifying gut health so you feel less bloated and lighter, which is definitely something I feel almost immediately after taking it, while replenishing your microbiome, stabilizing blood sugar, and accelerating fat burning, as well as fueling your fitness, performance, and recovery, which has been huge for me. And this isn't in the copy, but something about it just clears me up. Like I start breathing cleaner. I feel like my body is just being revitalized and given everything that it needs. ARMRA colostrum is a proprietary concentrated bovine colostrum that harnesses over 400 living bioactive nutrients that rebuild the barriers of your body and fuel cellular health for a host of research-backed health benefits. It's wholly natural, sustainable, and was developed with the highest integrity, grass-fed in the USA, and they guarantee the highest potency and bioavailability of any colostrum on the market for results that I'm telling you, for real, you will actually see and feel. We've worked out a special offer for weirdos. Receive 15% off your first order. This is just a promo code that I personally have used myself because I had to re-up. Go to tryarmra.com/weird or enter weird for 15% off your first order. That's tryarmra, tryarmra.com/weird. Trust me, this is some secret sauce right there. I absolutely love it. We're also brought to us by our friends at LECTRIC e-bikes. I drop Leela off every day on our electric e-bike. It is the highlight of my morning. Electric e-bikes have absolutely changed the way I move around town, run errands, and also just recreate. It gets me outside. It gets me smiling, gets me in the sun, gets me moving fast, seeking out hills, exploring my neighborhood in a way that I would never do on a normal bike because you have the ease of the assistance of this powerful motor that you can just twist and boom, it boosts you. Or do the pedal assist so you're pedaling and getting that exercise, but you also just have a little juice extra to keep you going faster, to keep you going further, keep you outdoors longer. So no matter how you're approaching 2024, electric e-bikes can help you go the difference. They are comfortable. They are fast. It's so fun to turn that throttle and just get that boost. They're incredibly durable, and they look really, really cool. I customized it with the +1 seat. Leela jumps on the back, she holds on, and we cruise. We go on little daddy-daughter dates to the pizza place. It's a couple miles away. No problem with the battery. It rides for a really, really long time. Anyone can do it. Designed for a better mode of transportation for all riders. Save on gas. Parking. There's a farmer's market in town. It's impossible to park. We glide over on our electric e-bike. We don't have to park. It's awesome. Financing as low as $49 a month. Get started on adventures is easier than ever. It ships free, comes fully assembled in the box. It's so fun. And it's foldable so you can throw it in the trunk of your car, which I've had to do once or twice to take it to the beach, stuff like that. Add more physical activity, more outdoor time to your everyday life. Make errands fun and up to 150 miles. You heard me right, 150 miles on one charge with LECTRIC's unbeatable long-range options, which is what I got. So explore 2024 with electric e-bikes, the most accessible and adventurous e-bike ever. Visit lectricebikes.com to learn more, and be sure to mention that You Made It Weird is what brought you there when you do that post-checkout survey. That really helps us. Check it out. LECTRIC, LECTRIC, ebikes.com, and be sure to tell them You Made It Weird sent you. All right, back to Shane, baby. Well, yeah, maybe you ended
I was out
Montreal.
of control.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
I think it was on its way out, and comedy was on its way out there, anyways. But I think someone hit a home run, and then I walked out the stadium with the ball.
Well, not to flatter ourselves, but I do, and it's not flattering. I do kind of think that comedians are a weird group of pirates, and we get invited to lots of, and I mean personality-wise, I mean like temperament and our brains. We more than rum,
and it runs the scale.
But we do have some of the rum and crazy. Yeah. We have the Pirates of the Caribbean.
I've been several versions of
Yes. We all have, and we're just misfits, broken toys.
Yeah.
And we get invited to some pretty nice things.
Yeah.
And then like
because we are good at what we do.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's pretty special.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, people go, like they get wise. I worry when I watched, I'm not going to say who, but I won't. But I watched a special.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that it was, there were things that I didn't like, you know, content-wise. But then there were a lot of jokes where I was like, and I think he's incredible. This is from a place of love, you know, meaning I'm not just shitting on him. But I'm watching it and I'm like, this is getting awfully close to everyone figuring out that we're just a person talking. You know what I mean? Let's take Dave out of it, but when I'm watching any comedian on a special do a joke that is the joke that 99 out of 100 of us would have riffed if someone in the audience said,
it's not
talk about that, and you'd be like, ba 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 ba.
Yeah.
And everyone's going nuts and it's filmed and they're applauding, and I'm at home going like, we're flying too close to the sun.
Yeah. Well, the barrier to entry for the art to be good is remarkably low at that point. Like
that's what I mean.
You know, like, have you ever had a perfect joke come out the first time? Like, no. Like, if you have, you knew it wasn't like as good as you wanted it to be. Like most,
funnier than my dad getting his hair cut.
Yes,
and some of it was just like.
And the point is to tell jokes nobody else can tell. Like that was my goal in comedy from day one.
I completely agree, and I feel bad singling Dave out, but I see it with other people.
Yeah,
where
he's
I'm
not
just
the
like,
only
he's not the only one, and I do it too. Yeah. I certainly have jokes where it's like nobody's immune to it, but if you're churning out so much, I'm like, maybe pause, because it's just like I feel like we're at a cake shop and there's all this free cake, and sooner or later they're gonna go like, you know, making these cakes for these animals to eat is more effort than they're putting into eating them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like,
and the audiences are there to like give us the cake, give us everything.
Yeah, yes,
and
I
we're
agree.
just like,
I get what you're saying,
and you'll laugh when I pause. And I'm like
that's like
no.
I want my audiences to like. We should hold our audiences to a higher standard, and they should hold us to a higher standard.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Thank
and it's
you.
not like, and not to say that he like Chappelle doesn't, or lots of people.
There's just
sometimes I don't hold myself to a standard that
I need them to, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think you don't. It doesn't get just to be great because it comes out of anyone. Like,
and if you're made of talent, like Dave is,
he's maybe the most.
He's just
gifted comedian
talent.
ever.
He's just made of talent.
If you could quantify, it's like, and which you really can't, but like, he is maybe the single most gifted person.
I agree.
Yeah.
You watched that one where it shows him in high school, and you're just like, God, he was always
like he just had it.
He just had it.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that part one, but the danger is when you're Superman, and you know. It can be harder to surprise us, if you know what I mean.
Yes, for sure. And like the standard he set is so high.
And he's done it the other way.
We have a comparative, like, it's not like, if it's like it's not as good as the best thing he's ever done, then he's slipping. You know,
that's
like,
fair.
And that's
if someone else was doing
that's not fair. Like
you're
that's
right.
not a fair. Somebody told me Norm's last special, not the posthumous one, but Hitler's Dog. Somebody was like, I didn't think it was that good. And I was like, if I put that special out,
you would have shit.
People would be like, that's the next hot comedian. Like that's how good Norm's first or the Me doing stand-up is. Like, yeah. So like that is, you can be a burden. You can have created your own burden by making something so great to like meet it again.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right. And to speak out of the other side of my mouth, maybe it's just like I just want to do a silly one. I just want to mess around.
Also,
and that's okay.
But we need more of that in comedy than
silly.
Yeah, because
that's what I appreciated about your special was you knew when to. Again, the seasoning thing. It was like it's time to be silly, and it was a surprise every time. I don't know why. I think maybe you kind of look serious.
I think people think I am. I'm a serious. I've been told I am a serious person. Like I have like a.
Yeah, but you smile so much. It's weird. But in my memory,
I think
no, here.
Oh,
just
because I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, well, fair. I'm glad.
Yeah,
but like. Why in my memory do I kind of?
I'm just trying
that's great. That's why, because you could play a part of like a guy, like a truck driver who killed somebody.
You know what I want to play? I've been
Tell me.
We did this. I did this podcast with Ian Carmel, and everybody that all fantasy everything. Have you ever done
See,
that?
he couldn't play a truck driver. Who
He could
killed
not.
Somebody.
No,
he could play a guy who drives a cupcake delivery system and gives it to the elderly.
He would be great at
It's
it.
free.
Yeah, and he'd be like, "Get in here!
Get in
You're
here!"
so great." We drafted like roles we think we could play in a movie.
Yes.
And I think I could be Mr. French from The Departed, like Jack Nicholson's.
That's a guy you kind of can't hit.
Yeah.
We like a lot of the same
You
movies.
don't fucking hit him.
And then he hits it, and he goes, and then he punches him for
goes,
going.
"Hey, fuckhead, that's Jackie's nephew." Yeah, I think I could do that kind of role.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, Judd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need.
When
Yeah.
Judd remakes To The Departed,
What
but
is
instead of
that even-
Leo, it's Jay
Seth-
Baruchel.
Seth Rogen's
Seth
Jack
Rogen's
Nicholson?
Dame. Oh, Seth Rogen's Nicholson.
Yeah.
What can I use
if we're
you
doing
for?
Judd characters
Yeah,
and we're recasting The Departed.
which I think we are.
Yeah. Judd actor.
Well,
Like,
Nicholson has to be Albert Brooks. What can I use you for?
Albert
We need
Brooks.
an old guy, Albert Brooks.
From
In The Departed.
Yeah. Albert Brooks is Nicholson.
Albert Brooks is Nicholson.
Okay, I thought. Okay,
Yeah.
I was skewing young.
Seth has to be. Seth has to be Leo.
No. Seth.
After this is done, you and I have no more contact.
Seth could be Damon, or not Damon. Wahlberg. Seth could be Wahlberg.
No, Wahlberg's Jason Segel.
No. Jason
No.
Segel's Martin Sheen.
No, he's too young.
Jason Segel is Martin Sheen. Jason Segel is Martin Sheen.
Microprocessors.
We'll be at war with the Chinese.
No,
Yeah.
who's Baldwin?
Baldwin obviously is
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
I don't know.
Michael Cera is Mark Wahlberg.
Michael
Cera
Cera.
playing that kind of angry.
You don't know, what's the matter? You don't know any Shakespeare?
Who was I can't. Why is her name escaping me from Party Down?
Lizzie Kaplan
Yeah,
is
who is?
the Chelsea Peretti cop. I think of her as a Chelsea Peretti type. I don't know why.
I kind of.
Yeah.
She is.
I think I really like Jay Baruchel. I think he might be Leo because you need someone
Jay could be
who's
Leo.
likable and kind of vulnerable.
Weirdly, Kevin Corrigan in both universes.
Who's Kevin Corrigan?
I think it's Kevin Corrigan is his name. He plays Leo's cousin in the movie that introduces him to.
Oh my!
Is that Kevin
shit.
Corrigan? Yeah.
You know what we say in situations like this?
Yeah.
I
You go, I have
am
to say
not
it?
a cop.
I'm not a cop.
I'm not a cop.
I'm not a cop.
Turn your head around. If those Puerto
Billy,
Ricans
I
were
got
so
something-
smart, they wouldn't be Puerto Rican.
Would you shut the fuck up?
You shut the fuck. Just two guys having a great
Yeah.
afternoon.
And then-
that's what we are. We're two guys having a great afternoon.
And then the Dropkick Murphy song
Yes,
is played by It's played by Arcade Fire remixes it.
of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Oh,
Yeah.
we got to do it.
Yes. And Lena Dunham is
Lena Dunham is.
the rat at the end. No, that seems I wasn't trying to be mean. That came out.
I understand that you had.
I'm riffing and
Like in Tetris, you had the next piece.
I was just
and next piece was the rat.
Yeah.
And then we thought of any actor, and you're like,
yeah.
I got
Everything falls apart.
it. I
Yeah.
got it. There's a part for Lena, but I don't know what it is. You know, the woman who played my mother on Crashing is at the bar in that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's sitting at the bar, and she
Oh.
says something to Nicholson, and I'm like, oh, that's my mom. That's weird.
Isn't it weird when it gets regular that you see people you know in like productions? Like I find that like I was on a
It's
flight.
troubling when it ruins something for you, and you're like, that fucking piece of shit didn't text me back, or whatever it is.
Like, oh, that's why I can't be on your podcast.
Yeah.
Because you're too busy being on.
So funny.
Yeah, like it's weird when it's regular now. Like,
Yeah.
like I was like watching that new Scream movie in the theater, and I was like, oh, I just said out loud in the theater, oh fuck, Reggie to the screen.
Reggie watches in it?
Reggie Conquest.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you know him, but brilliantly funny guy. But he's in it, and I was just like, I said it out loud, and people in the theater were like, nobody walked in or anything, and nobody sat next to me.
Yeah.
And then I almost had to be like, no, I know him. But.
What was the Netflix show? You tell a very funny story. It just made me think of it. When you March 4th, one of the best jokes in the special. I'm not even going to do it. Let's leave it for the link. But you got this Netflix show, and you're like, you were saying like, I only do this, but you did almost do something on that. What was that?
It was the Netflix. Some production company had got Netflix to bite on the idea of like them basically doing their version of Last Comic Standing meets The Voice, and I was cast on that as a competitor or whatever you want to, like a contestant. And I thought I really had a shot at doing well on it, and that was 2020, and like everything just kind of came falling down, like for everyone, like I try to tell myself,
you could be the guy in Banshees of Inisherin. The one that cuts off his fingers.
You think I could be?
You could be that. Oh, cha-choy. You said your mom's Irish?
Yeah, she was from Ireland.
Oh,
yeah.
Cha-choy. Oh, cha-choy. Why is that okay?
It's a. I saw Rory Scovel. I saw him in Dublin. We were performing on the festival, and he just came out and talked like that for 40 minutes, and like willed the crowd into accepting that how much he was making fun of him.
Oh my god!
He was just like, and they were like, not on board at first, like really
this
not. And he
is epic.
It was great, and it was like pretty full. Like maybe 100 people. Yeah, it wasn't like it was like the last day, and
oh, cha-choy.
And
it's good to be here in Ireland.
And he's so absurd.
Yes.
Like he'll go in any direction he wants to go in. Like and
He's
they were like they finally were like, okay, yes, this is funny. It was very impressive. Like
did you hear about Natasha at the Comedy Store?
Yeah, because Bert told me about it. I was on because Bert was on.
So Bert goes on with his shirt off.
Yeah.
Natasha goes on next, I guess.
Yeah.
And takes her shirt off.
Yeah.
And then I go.
It was at the Improv, I think.
Oh, is it the Improv?
Yeah.
And I go, with her bra? Because I'm thinking bra.
Yeah.
And they go, no bra. And I go, legendary. I go, with a bra, it's not even a story.
Bert said it was amazing.
Why are we talking about it? This isn't talking about boobs. I'm saying, if you're going to do it, it has to be full commitment and like
you cannot,
insane.
If you're going to take a wild swing. And that's awesome.
That's an incredible, but I said
and
it was
also, like,
that's the stuff
to
of
just
legend.
Go,
it's legend.
For sure.
Yes.
It's to just go like that is so, for lack of a better word, ballsy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I would have been like, you can't sexualize her in that moment. I would have been astounded by it. I could, and I love boobs. Like man, I would have just been like, that's amazing. I would have I almost don't even see her
art.
Yeah.
Like when you're looking at a marble statue in a museum, nobody's like, oh yeah,
yeah.
I want to.
Yes.
It would have been like a marble statue.
Yeah.
You're just like, wow. But it is different because you have that great line about naked male bodies and how
Thank
gross
you. That's my favorite line in the.
It's great.
Yeah.
They all look like they fell on the floor.
Yeah.
And then you tag it, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, the guy with the tags. He's got more tags.
He's going to keep tagging this up?
It's like he's trying to stop shoplifters. He's got so many tags. It's like Harvey Weinstein. He's got so many skin tags. Oh. But you got a lot of tags is what I'm saying. But what were you saying? Oh, because even women, even straight women agree. It's just like, it's sensational.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't believe that any woman is just in a locker room seeing boobs and is like, I don't believe it.
You don't?
I don't. They could be the straightest woman in the world. I think they're kind of like,
yeah.
But men,
it's
just different.
It is strange.
No one's ever just like, sponge.
No, it was like, look, check out that pipe. Like.
I was thinking about it because you can see boobs through a shirt. I'm sorry, Katie. This is weird, but
we're really solving all the world's problems over here.
But you can't see outside of a European bathing suit. You can't see a bulge. So a ding dong is a surprise. So there's a lot more posturing, big dick energy, which can be faked. Trust me. I'm just saying, how many social and genetic implications came down from
her? What she did?
No, not Natasha, but just anthropologically speaking, that something sexual about women is right here that you can glance at so easily.
If it was never covered, it'd be...
And ours is in the crevasse of our legs. It's hidden. As is the vagine, but the teats are the neon sign of the lady form. And everyone's glancing.
Tits are the neon sign.
And you have such a better idea.
That's such a funny sentence. You should write that down. Breasts are the neon sign of the human body. Like, you're like, I'm not going in that bar. Like,
and whenever it's in a podcast and they have a neon sign, I'm like, can't you hear that? Isn't it right behind them going?
I want neon all the time.
You love neon.
I love.
You want to live in the Tron
love,
world.
I
kind of do.
If I had, I like you know when you're on like 4th and you're in New York and you just see all the neon on, like I'm just like, this is the most magical thing. Like
I'm with you.
I don't
old Vegas when neon was the height of the technology.
Like, that's almost too much in a way, you know. But like, there's moments where you're like, sometimes I'm just like, oh yeah, signs work on me. And I know that's the dumbest fucking sentence I'll say today.
I was thinking of driving down. Symbols transform people. The swastika, the cross, but everything, Apple, all these things really transform us more than words. And a Jeep cut in front of me, and the Jeep logo is kind of tight. The J,
I know. I understand. It's a very specific
boxy.
Text. Yeah.
And I was like, I bet this fucking guy's tight and boxy. Like but I was like, God damn, we're so stuck in these things.
It's insane.
It's insane. So of course signs work.
I used to think like marketing didn't work on me. And one time,
nothing works more.
Yeah, I was like getting a burger, and the kid behind the counter at the fast food joint was wearing a hat with a Dr. Pepper logo on it. And he goes, something to drink? And I go, oh, I have a Dr. Pepper. Like almost didn't even let him finish it.
Buddy.
And I'm just like, and that it was a moment of clarity through kind of being brainwashed, which is so bizarre.
We're back to joke theft. It's like, will you get over this idea that you have complete control over your brain, you fucking primate? I'm going to use your line. You are a chimp. You are looking at rocks and mushrooms, and you're a fucking dope. And the only choice you have to be intelligent is to say, I'm a fucking dope.
And start kind of...
Look at my brands.
Humility is the beginning of being smart, I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
You got to say you don't know anything. But I'm an Apple guy.
Yeah.
Eat shit. I'm such a fucking
eat
fucking shit. But I am. I'm
too.
a fucking Apple guy.
I am too. And I used to... When my
mom...
they
spent $1 billion to make me an Apple guy.
And you know what? It's fuck... Yeah. Well, you are...
I am.
A fortified mind. You use 12% of your brain power.
I do. Thanks to Alpha Brain. Sorry, we have to do the mid-rolls. On it. Sorry, just 1 second. On it.com. Just kidding.
I didn't know if you were being...
No.
You could have had me hanging there for so long.
And I just talk about Alpha Brain for 20 minutes.
And I've been like, well, people have done this to me before. Yeah.
Corolla does it. It'll be,
yeah.
You need stamps.com.
He just does that?
He just does it. I kind of admire it because then he's done. I have to do the ads later. Fuck.
We are so... You're an Apple guy. I am an Apple guy now. But I text my friend and I go, and she works for Apple. She designs a lot of their training and stuff. But so I text her. I go, hey, my mom died, and she goes, did you get an iPhone?
That is the funniest response.
She's
blue.
Yeah. Huh. And and you didn't, that it wasn't green. I used to be just from that.
I used to be green,
and now that's just all like.
So you're blue in two ways. Yeah. When did your mom died? I know. Just take a break. Let's just take a break.
It was right there.
It was right there. You're blue. You're blue in two ways. That is the funniest, most Apple thing I've ever heard. And Neil Brennan's joke about like the pyramids and everything that's been built by slaves, and then the iPhone. And he's like, what's the difference? It's like I'm not excusing it by any means. I'm just saying it's this grotesque, unspoken thing.
Isn't it crazy?
If something's happening that's changing the world, there's about 3 billion people that are just like, fucking, I don't even want to make a joke about it. Yeah, must be nice.
And isn't it crazy? I was talking about this with someone. The way to get things done is like still the number one way to like build an empire like Apple or anything.
Yeah.
It's like slavery.
Yeah.
It's still the way, like there's like we've made new great things as mankind has.
Yeah.
But we've made them all the same way.
That's exactly Neil's point.
Yeah.
It's like we built the White House and we made a computer in the same way. I am hopeful. I'm one of those AI optimists that it'll remove a lot of jobs, but I think something's going to have to shift in the whole global economy, meaning like I think my daughter will grow up in a world that's just different.
Yeah,
in
I'm like
every
worried about
conceivable way. But I think maybe it'll solve this labor. Now I sound like I'm
that's what I hope, because that's
thing.
really what I hope, because I was thinking about that. Like my friend's company is trying to go public. That
like
he works
show
for.
Its dick in the park.
Yeah. He's about to show his neon.
His secret neon. His crotch neon.
His crotch neon. His humming bulbs.
Go on.
But it goes, they're trying to go public, and they laid off a bunch of people. And I'm like, that's still the way these people figure out how to like make more money. At the end of the day, it's just
get
like
rid of people.
It's just to give people less and to take away. Like, that's not the person who needs to be in charge if that's their solution. Like, I understand you come to a point where you don't want to. You might have to fire people someday, but that's the wrong thinking. Like, I'm like, no, we're hiring more people because we're going to do this even better. Like, I don't know.
Nobody does that.
Yeah.
I stay up at night going, like, if I was whatever billionaire, why wouldn't I just make a legacy of, I built a whole village of free food or whatever.
Yeah, I think
they don't do it. We hoard. And then this actually ties back to why we love Italians. We'll be right back. No, I was thinking about it like America loves the Irish. And
there's a guy right now on break, like everybody's just like
he spits his coffee up.
No, he's eating pasta, and he's just like,
go on.
Then he's like, they skipped it.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking about different cultures and the cultures that have really flourished and been respected in America. And I was thinking about, like, I was watching a Mission Impossible movie. It was not the newest one, but it's anyway.
Rogue Nation, Dead Reckoning, Fallout.
You love them.
They're so much fun. Tom Cruise is the greatest stuntman who's ever lived to me.
He's a treasure.
Yeah.
He's a treasure.
Yeah.
I wish I could get my salary in Tom Cruise. Like, I don't weigh the dollar against gold. I weigh it against how's T. Cruz doing.
Well,
Cruise is strong.
I'm looking forward to Top Gun 3.
Are they doing it?
I heard that. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you know what it's called?
What?
Tank War.
It is not.
No, it's not. I don't know.
That would be so boring. They go from jets
just
to
slow. How are tanks a thing? I'm not even.
I get it, and I'm also like, what? It's the turtle of the army.
Yeah, it's truly. if I was a weapon,
yeah, you'd be a tank.
I'd be a tank.
I'd be a tank.
No,
you're
too tall.
Oh, I'd be.
I think you'd be like You're not a helicopter. You're not a jet.
No.
But you are.
I think Sebastian might be a jet.
That's why Sebastian is a jet.
Us ground forces are like, what's going on?
Yeah.
We don't get it.
Yeah. What would you be? You're a radio. No.
Maybe I'm a radio. Oh, I'm the medic.
Yeah, you're the medic.
I'm the medic.
Yeah.
And you don't shoot me.
Yeah.
Because I'm helping.
Yeah.
It's against the rules.
Yeah.
So anyway, in this Mission Impossible movie, because they all blur together because I just keep watching them, they go to India, and there's an Indian guy in a white tuxedo, and he's just the biggest heel. It's like... It's almost, I'm going to say it's almost racist, meaning it's like parody.
Like it's so over the top.
Like in the same way that in the 70s. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like we made fun of Chinese people in a very similar way. I'm not trying to get anybody canceled or in trouble.
Yeah, no.
I'm just saying he's very like, hello.
He is such a...
he's short with shiny shoes and a white tuxedo, and he's rich, and he's like, would you like to see the Bhagavad Gita? And it's just like, and we're laughing at, we are. Look, I could be watching it wrong.
When I watch it, I'm like, this guy's a douche. Like,
he's a douche, but in a very America v. India way, to me.
Yes.
He's not just a douche. It's a parody of how we think it's weird, all the orange and the gold and the elephants and the dancing. Yeah. And I'm like, this is almost, what is that word? There's a word for, it doesn't matter. It's like blaxploitation. It's like Indian blaxploitation. And I'm like, ugh. And Tom Cruise is like the antidote to this guy. Yeah. And he's humiliated. He's kicked in the balls. He's flipped on a bed.
By a woman, right?
Yeah, by a woman. Yeah. He's a coward. He's a fool. And I think it's significant that he's Indian because they're following a trend of disrespect. And why? I'm just saying, like, let's go.
No, I'm not. I'm like, when I'm doing this, I'm processing what you're saying.
This is a podcast-only conversation.
Yes,
and I do not.
I think you should try it tonight. I think you should go to the gym another day this week.
Well, I performed last night, so I'm off.
Yeah.
Until Saturday.
Is that when you're off?
Yeah.
I didn't go up last night, and I felt fine about it for the first time in a long time.
Really?
Yeah. But I was having. Do you know David Bory? No. Really talented guy. But he was in town. We were having dinner. We went to the smokehouse and just had dinner and got like
fun.
We had this moment of clarity that was kind of great, where because the smokehouse I'd never been to, and he was like, he used to live here. He's like, and I was like, we were at this like kind of like this nice restaurant, this like L.A. staple, and we both did late night across the street because we'd both done Conan, and I was like, and him and I like were literally so broke when we met. You know, it was a very nice moment of like, we're paying for our bills doing the thing. You know, we're not where we want. Like, because I get very like I'm not anywhere near where I need to be in my career. Like, and we had that moment. You know,
I've had a moment like that at the Smokehouse.
Yeah,
after my talk show got greenlit or whatever, we all went to the Smokehouse.
Is this the backdrop from the?
It is.
Yeah,
and I still have a picture of all of us at the Smokehouse. And they let you put a caption on it because they sell the photographs.
I bought one with David last night.
Boom.
Yeah.
And we wrote "Friends for Fun." That's what we wrote on it. Friends for fun.
Do you miss having the talk show? Like, it's like I remember it, and I was like, oh, that's like a guy in my generation of comedy. That this is the first one I know
doing a little talk show.
Yeah, like having like a.
Here's the good news is that I think there's only one happiness, and all things bring you to that happiness, meaning I was achieving that happiness from the playground of having a talk show, but then you get to it's the same happiness when you climb a different hill. Yeah. I don't think there's different happinesses necessarily. Yeah. So I liked...
You liked the show.
I loved it. But the access to like friends and comedy. But then you find that in other ways. When Matt and I are on the road, that it's the same happiness. It's all comedy. And that's a long way to say yes and no. I don't. It was a grind.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like now that you've been out of it for a number of years,
well, when it was canceled, I was
were you devastated?
Disappointed, but I was also a little bit relieved because it was getting.
Yeah, you were making 5 hours of television a week.
It was really rough.
5 episodes a week? 4.
We would sometimes shoot 9 episodes in a week, which was crazy.
Awful.
But they were only 30 minutes long. But still.
But like that's
9 monologues.
Yeah,
you're up there, and
shirt changes and like
oh my god, yeah,
I didn't like little shitty things. You're like that's not a big deal, but if you do it 20 times, like
I was new enough, and I missed this about myself that I wasn't bothered by stuff like that. I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't, but it's just like the thing of like, I got to do that right. Like another thing to irritate you in the middle of this thing you wanted.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah.
Tell me about the home invasion story because I would love details that aren't in the bit. You're at home.
Oh, okay. So obviously everyone infantilizes their stories to some degree when they're doing
yeah. This isn't shots fired. I just want to hear. Just give me the real story because it's interesting.
I really I had left. I came out here and I left New York. I came out here to shoot the show, and we shot the first night. And I was certain, I thought I had a bad set, and I was certain I wasn't going to get passed. And then I just got drunk at the bar at the Ice House, and then they called me, and I was they called me up, and I was covered in sweat, and they were like, you're getting picked, and I was like, and this was all taped and everything. And I remember Neil and Tig were the ones who wanted to coach me, so I had to pick one. And
this is for the show that didn't end up happening.
Yeah, and I was loaded. I was drunk and they were like, "Why'd you pick Tig instead of Neil?" And I'm a massive fan. When you talk about pace and tone, she's a master of it. Yeah, that's one of her best tools in comedy.
Yeah.
And I was just all liquored up, and I was like, "Oh, because Tig is Neil and I have more in common because we're men, so I want a different perspective." But really, I was in my head, I was like, I don't know why I just picked one. I didn't it was weird.
Yeah.
And then they canceled the show the next fucking day, or 2 days later, and I was in the hotel, and I was they were calling me, and they're like, when do you want to go back to New York? But I really didn't have an apartment to go back to in New York.
Yeah.
And I was I didn't know where to go. I was literally
yeah.
And I was maybe this is how fucked up I am. I was maybe I can just get Netflix to pay for this hotel the whole pandemic, and we'll make a show out of it. I was that's a thought I actually had.
That's what White Lotus was, by the way.
I never watched it.
Oh, it takes place in a hotel. That's all you need to know. And because they could shoot in a hotel.
Yeah.
So you were onto something.
Yeah. I should just say the things I think sometimes.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
That was my life. No. God, what's wrong with me? It was just we were there. So I called around. I did find her. It's so weird. I did the bit so many times. I'm still saying it like the bit. Yeah.
I get it.
We were there, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to use this time of not working to work on other things. Was like a big thing in my head, and I would like doom scroll and read all this shit. And so I stayed with Charlene Connolly, my friend, who I'm staying with right now, and we were, the way I remember it, in a non-comedic way, I was standing next to her in the kitchen, and this fucking someone had stolen my shoes because I left them outside because I thought I would track COVID into the house. Like that's, remember sanitizing pens and all of that kind of shit. Like, we weren't getting COVID from pens. I don't think.
No. Wiping off her groceries.
Yeah, did that. Did all of it.
I did that on this.
My
porch.
hands were dry from like washing them so much, like and brittle.
Yeah,
and she didn't have a gate at their driveway, so people could just walk up to people's back doors at her place. And now they do have a gate. But like, he was just loaded homeless guy, like just drunk out of his mind. He meant no harm. Like, I know that like he came in just, maybe he did mean harm, but like I didn't.
It didn't feel like an attack.
No, like it didn't feel like he was coming. Yeah, because he was not aggressive when he came in. And like, I was standing next to her, and her back door is right by the sink, and she was like, I thought it was like her neighbor or something, maybe, you know. And he came in, and I knew once I saw him, I knew it wasn't her neighbor. I was like, "Dude, get the fuck out of here!" Like,
I love that part of the bit is that you surprised yourself.
Yes,
You're
yeah,
like,
she screamed it, and then I had to like I like moved very aggressively towards it, like, and I was get the fuck, you know, like, and it was like a lot less. And I was very freaked out because I had to touch him and get him out of the house.
I remember this time.
Yeah,
it's hot COVID time.
Yeah, and I was, like, I was like, do I have COVID? You know, like, so the anxiety of like him being gone was not removed at all once the threat was gone. Because I was just like, I could have COVID. Like,
it's a funny sketch that a guy breaks into your house. You look at him. There's glass, the sound of glass shattering. And then you mask up and put on dishwashing gloves. You spray them with Febreze. And then you're like, all right,
Fauci.
Get the fuck out of here.
It was the kind of thing what you would have think you would have had to do, though, I get.
What happened to you is exactly what we were all worried about. When we went up to Ojai when it was the lockdown, and then we found out, it was pretty funny actually, kind of annoying at the time, but we found out that the place we were renting, which was this tiny house, like it was about the size of this garage. The guy that owned the property was also renting out an Airbnb. This was a surprise to us and every tenant of that Airbnb, meaning people are like, oh, I'll get away from it all and go to this farm and I'll lay low. That's what we're doing. And then like now there's just rotating.
There's community of like,
people. There's always different people. I'm like, this is and then there was a Winnebago with a guy that lived in it. I was like, none of this was in the listing. Like really weird. But what are we going to do?
Isn't that weird, like how much, because of the panic that was in the world at that moment, normally you would have just been like, well, this is I'm giving him an awful review.
Yeah, exactly.
And
now you're like, I might die.
Yeah. And also how like how you can normalize anything depending on your mindset. So what, there's a guy living, I guess that's fine that there's other people at this Airbnb and all this, you know, like. And
we got used to it though, because once we were up there were so many fewer people, and COVID was just a little bit more lax. We were still masked up and
that stuff,
distanced, but like you go to the grocery store, nobody's there, and you're like, I'm breathing easier, literally.
Yeah.
But then Val and I go out. There's a pool, and we go out, and there's this couple in the pool, and when we walked into the area, they looked like they had seen a ghost. Like they were just like, ugh, and they froze up.
And they're like, hey, can you just wait till were they?
They didn't do that. They were just like, hello. Later, they were there for a couple weeks or whatever. They told us that we were the first people that they had talked to. So what I'm saying, that's why they were so scared.
Yeah.
What happened to you was those people and all of us, our worst fear that you'd just be at home quarantining and someone would just come in.
Dude.
That's what happened.
Yeah. And it was fucking scary. And I remember after having gotten COVID and like making it through it and everything, thank Christ, because that was scary then too.
Yeah, of course.
It hadn't been normalized. The first time I went into somebody else's house after COVID.
Yeah.
It was bananas.
It was weird.
It was Ian Carmel's, and because I was standing outside on his lawn, he's like, "You can go use the bathroom." You're like, "You already had it. You're fine." You know,
yeah.
And I remember being like, looking at it, and I was like, I hadn't been in someone else's house, in so fucking long.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's got pictures like we do. You know, like
friend.
Yeah. It blew my mind.
Yeah, what a your whole bit brought it back. So you pushed the guy out.
Yeah.
Did he have your shoes?
No. That was a
fibberuno.
Yeah.
Do you want a cookie?
Yeah. Yeah, I want a cookie.
I went to this restaurant with Judd, and it was so nice. When you're at the valet, they give you cookies.
Really?
While you're waiting for your car, they give you cookies.
What if that's a cottage industry? Like the guy who does the
Or a
cookies.
cookie valet company.
Well, no, like the guy who does the cookies at Doubletree also does the cookies at the valet. He's like, no. He's like, it's like, how's this guy so wealthy? You know, like, have you ever had somebody blow your mind financially? Like, when you walk into someone's house, you're like, this place is insane. I wonder what this person does for a living.
The guy who lives in my house, I'm a somewhat famous comedian. The guy that lived in my house before, he did all the confetti for movies and television.
Shut the fuck up. Really?
I'm like, sorry, you got where I got from confetti? We're in the same place?
Yeah, and also he goes, you got where I got from jokes? Like,
that's fair.
And also, it seems like it would not be out of mind if I saw a picture of you throwing confetti. I'd be like, that.
I am kind of the confetti. That's who I am. You're a tank. I'm the useless confetti.
You're the fun gun. You're the fun gun. But
yeah, I'm a t-shirt cannon.
But that's really what he did. I hype people up at the halftime of basketball games.
You hit
Is that
somebody
really
just
what
right.
he did?
He told me, and I just saw on his face, just let's not. Like, there was just something from his frequency that was like, I don't want to do follow-up questions. I'm just telling you.
I've answered them all.
If you've seen a
movie. It's the same way I don't want to talk about comedy to people who don't.
Oh, yeah. What do you say? Oh, that's a good road question. When you're renting a car or something and they say, what brings you to town? What do you say?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I tell them I'm a comedian. I need the sales.
Really? Nice.
No, I would be like, I will always say that what brings you to town? I'm in for work. And they have to pry for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. No shame if you just said I'm a comedian.
I will be like
If I'm in a really good mood, I'll say I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
And then if I'm in a really, really good mood, I go, I'm a comedian. Isn't that crazy?
All right. So is this your dream? Like, you just say that back to
this your dream?
At Hertz rent-a-car table? Like, you just go.
Dude. I'll never forget. I did a podcast with an adult film star. Not this podcast.
I just did one with an adult film star.
Really?
Yesterday, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Who was the host?
It was my friend Carter Cruz.
Okay, this was Eli Olsberg had a podcast with adult movie stars, and I'll never forget it. It was one of these moments where I was like,
the neon boob lady, the neon lady,
the neon boobs,
the neon
boobs
lady.
are
the neon lady,
the neon lady.
Okay, keep going.
And I said, and there was buzzing behind us. She was like, I kind of feel bad about everything I'm about to say. But she was like, I like what I do. And I was like, that's fantastic. It was great. I didn't say that, but I'm thinking that. I'm like, that's great. I really, when I've watched porn, I'm like, I really hope they're just like into it. They love it.
Yeah.
It's fun. They're voyeurs. Turns them on.
Yeah.
Whatever. I hope you enjoy it. In the same way, bus driver, everybody. I hope everybody's enjoying it.
Yeah.
And she goes, I love it. And but I could feel like I wasn't buying it. And I was like, so if I gave you $100 million, you'd keep doing it? And her face just, I did the guidance counselor question, and I was like, I shouldn't have had her even consider that. Like, it just seemed so sad in that moment that she was like, no. And I was like, oh no, shut up, magic boy. Yeah. Not everybody's living the dream. Like, not just porn stars. I just mean like, what percentage of people would answer yes to that question? Stand-up comedians, maybe actors, you know?
Yeah, there's some. I mean, I think
basketball players, maybe.
We are fortunate enough to do what we love, you know. But like, it is interesting. Like, I'm like, I would still be doing comedy if I had $100 million.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd be doing it the same. You know,
yeah, I know it would change, and I think it would actually end up being a curse, like every short story. Like you'd be like, it makes it's a cheat code, and now your points are 20 billion, and it's hard to now you have to manufacture.
And it's unsatisfied.
Drive.
Yeah.
Jake Johnson did the podcast yesterday, and he's like, I work as if my kids won't eat if I don't do it, even though like I think he's past that place, but he's like trying to manufacture.
I mean, that's how I do it.
Yeah.
I don't have kids, but
Yeah.
I think that's like
Funny when you said that in the special, I felt the slightest hesitance in your voice because you said it in a funny way. You didn't say fixin'. You said I'm not something to get married. It was a good word choice. I'm not
like
scheming.
I can't remember what I said, but
it's some great word choice. I remember that. I'm not planning to get
It does make me a
married.
little sad that I don't want to have kids
or have kids, and I felt the slightest. I'm not trying to out you. I'm just
no,
saying,
it's fine. Yeah,
because you're such a sweetheart, and you would be a good, like you got good dad energy.
Thank you.
So I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if
Did
Shane...
you have a good dad? Like you
Yeah, all told, yes.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. My dad was like very irresponsible. He wasn't a bad guy, but he was not a responsible father. So I'll definitely have some dread about that.
Oh,
like because I know how irresponsible I can be with anything. You know, like
yeah.
So I don't like that, and I don't know if that's one of the reasons I don't think I'll have kids. But I also kind of am like, do kids probably are not going to be a thing for me. Yeah, and I don't want them. Like in the way of like, I would have them with somebody if they wanted to have kids, and I wanted to have kids with that person. But I don't.
It's not.
Like, I don't long
vision
for
board.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and that kind of makes
You
me
don't have names picked out. That makes you sad.
Yeah, that I like.
Well, yeah. I'm not trying to make you sad. I'm like,
No.
It's like
That I don't have
everything's
that.
the result of
Did you always want
something.
kids?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I never even have thought about it. Like that's how I know I don't want. You know, like
I'd
I
go
never
with that.
until recently, until like I got to the age I'm at now. Like in the past few years, I'm like, I never even thought about it, and I never even really thought about marriage that much. I don't. Maybe because I'm
sorry. Are you feeling this? I'm just kidding. And then we get married. Yes.
Here's my neons.
Show me your neons.
Show me-
is the funniest way to
It's
say.
really great.
Let me see your neons.
When you say "show me your neons," I think of the lights from a Dodge Neon.
And then the headlights. Don't they call boobs headlights too?
Yes, they do, Pete. You know that. Don't say don't they. Like we call them lots of things.
Hooters?
Hooters.
Wait, that's what the restaurant means?
That's where I had my.
That was an owl
Again, to my
enthusiast.
irresponsible father. That is where he had my 13th birthday party.
No.
Yes.
How perfect.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say that is a little sad is like, it's almost like it was taken. You know what I mean? It's like people come in kind of ready. Like my daughter's defining characteristic is she's down for anything.
Yeah.
And then different things, traumas happen to us, and that builds and kinks out a personality.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like Shane on mushrooms might be like, I know the love that is me that could be a father.
Yeah.
But like, we're not that way all the time.
No, and I don't. Even when I do things like mushrooms, like I'm still. I'm just trying to calm. I'm not trying to find. Like,
Calm, not find.
yeah, like I like, some people like a lot of like our friends and will do mushrooms or whatever, and they'll like be like, I'm having they're going to achieve something or get some clarity on something.
Right.
I don't get that a lot. What I need is like quiet. Like that's what like I need it to be calm. I need my head to stop running.
Right. You're not going to a Primus concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need it.
Oh,
what I'm saying, what I'm getting from
inside.
yes, like internally, I need it.
Like
My vision, like if they're like, this is what I'm gonna do now. Like I do want to have kids. Like I've had these answers. No, not for me. It's like,
Yeah.
I just need it to be a low hum. I don't need it to be completely quiet, but I need to hear just enough noise that I know I'm not deaf for some reason, and like not be panicked. Like I'm internally churning a lot. Like I have a hard time turning my head off.
Yeah.
And so like I don't like, to me, like going on a vision quest eating mushrooms to have a vision or find something, it's like, to me it's more like another thing to make me obsessive and upset.
Yeah.
And I just would love it if like
It
I
reminds me
woke
of
up
people
by the light of the sun and not like when I wanted, like, not that I had to get up and do something right away. Like everything feels like very like I don't know how to break. I guess.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's like some people relax by playing a video game, but some people won't relax until they finish it. And it'll tell you finish it 100%.
Yeah.
And you obsess about it, so it becomes another problem.
Yes.
Sounds like...
Very similar. Yeah, like if I could sit down and not even... and feel fine doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I mean nothing.
Yeah.
Like not even no stimulation around. Like,
yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, dog.
Good goal.
Yeah.
I forget who said it, but it was like all of the world's problems stem from man's inability to sit alone in a room. And I was like, wow, I think that's right on.
Was it Ram Dass?
I don't know. I think he might have said it, but he might have been quoting somebody.
Well, I just noticed the CD up there.
Oh, there you go. And that's him on that's not Alan Alda. That's Ram Dass.
Is that Ram Dass?
Yeah, that's old Ram Dass.
That was your dad.
No, old Ram Dass. It's funny that you say that because sometimes when we would talk, his face would turn into my dad's, and I was like, it was weird. Boston face.
Boston face.
How did your life change?
Calm down, Boston face.
Shut up, Boston face. That's the best burn. What?
That's so funny. If you're like, you just like say that to like one of the New England prick comics, they're like,
yeah, shut
up,
up,
sure thing, Boston face.
Somebody said that. Somebody was being mean to me in a green room. I won't say who it was, but they have a very popular podcast that preceded mine. It was Mark Maron.
Okay.
And I was like, what could I say? It just feels so outdated that you walk in and it's so hostile right off the bat. And somebody was like, just go, uh-oh, there's a comedian from the 80s in here. Like, because that's what it was. It used to be so toxic. And
that's the kind of thing, like, yeah, if you throw that shot back,
it's over.
Or you're going.
You're about to go into it.
Yeah. Like, but that's also like fine if they come in with like,
yeah.
I am not really a combative person, but except like I hate
a hobo bricks and
that makes me a hero. I made a homeless man more homeless. Like he was in home. He was in a home for a moment.
He was briefly housed.
Yes,
and then you unhoused him.
Yeah,
again.
Yes. Second one. That's why he reminded me of my dad. But I that energy of like people coming in just being hot. I understand people have bad days and stuff, but like, why do you have to put up with it anymore? Like, and why do I have to leave if I don't want to put up? You know,
right.
Like,
I don't want to be. I've ended friendships because I'm like, I'm tired of driving to your house and thinking of 5 mean things to say to you because I know you're gonna say something mean to me.
Yeah.
And except with
you've ended friendships, like. I feel like I always like really like did you like with intention? You're like I'm not hanging out with this person anymore.
Yeah, it's happened. It's happened.
You've had a conversation about it.
Oh yeah, multiple times.
Really?
A little friend breakup.
I've never done that, but I just kind of like
let
them adrift. Yeah, like I just like I kind of like just cut the rope that they're docking to on me. You know, like
I've done that too, but I and then I find out I did that once, just kind of slowly fade away, and then I got word that like really hurt their feelings, and I was like, I think I have to stop doing that. It sucks, but it is good. Breakups too, to have the little exit interview.
Wild. What is that like? Are you guys just like we're not like friend breakups?
I think it was helpful.
We're just kind of not in the same place, and
well, I think a lot of it was like. I think the one that I'm thinking about.
I'm afraid I would say, you want to hang out? Like,
let's just keep going.
Yeah,
I've done that too with girlfriends too.
Oh,
set the table for the breakup, and it's like, let's go to Europe. It's like stupid.
One time, a girl's trying to break up with me, and I go, "I love you." Like I just,
wow.
I was like very young, and not okay, but she just fucking laughed. Like she thought it was so funny.
And did you stay together?
No.
Yeah, it was over. It was over.
She was already out of the plane.
When your mom passed, how did that change your life?
It's
just out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere. That question.
It was the worst. It was the fucking worst, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
you were close.
Very. Yeah.
Irish close or real close? I'm just kidding.
She was my hero. So like,
oh wow.
Like I'm just like I'm more proud of my mom. Like the more I think about like
really?
Yeah.
Why? What did she do that was special? I don't mean like impress me. I mean what did you love?
There were a couple of things. I'm trying my best not to get like emotional about it. I'm Irish, and
of course,
yeah. There were a few like she was as selfless as she like I think a person can be. You know, like I think she tried really hard to be that, and she wasn't like her parents. Like
she broke a cycle.
Yeah. Like I think in a lot of ways, and she's like, one time like to to show the kind of person, like how she thought about love. One time she was telling me, she goes, like it was a joke that I was her favorite, because I got in the least amount of trouble, like gave in some ways, you know,
with the bobbies. Sorry.
Yes.
You're out there getting your heads clobbered.
The cops.
You get knackered by the cops.
But that kind of stuff. My brothers would get in a lot of trouble. Yeah.
Chased by the Mounties.
You don't even know.
Sorry, I'm trying to keep it a little light.
Do one more name for cops.
Out there with their pints against throwing them at the Mounties.
No, I would do name one more kind of cop.
Oh.
Yeah, Mounties, Bobby.
A meter maid tossed, pushing over the
like
little car.
Federales or something like
the Federales.
She told me, like...
Interpol.
Nice! Neon. She told me, like, her and my brother were at odds about something, and she was, like, in tears over it, and she was like, I think he said something along the lines of, like, you love them more than me, or something like that, and she goes, that's not, and she was, like, just venting, and she goes, I don't love any of you more than the other one. I just have to love you different because you are different. And I thought it was very profound. Like, because you can't, like, I don't love my brothers for the same thing outside of them being my brother. I love them for different reasons for the people they are. You know, like, and I'd never thought about it that way. You know, and she was just so selfless. Like, she got, when I first moved away, they told her she was going to have, what's that thing where it's not cerebral palsy, but like a thing that was going to like put her in a wheelchair.
MS?
Yeah. And I had just moved away. It was my first time coming back home. And I was like, well, I'm coming back home. I'll take care of you. Like, and then she wouldn't let me come home. Like, like.
This is interesting because we're both like the golden children.
Yeah.
And we both like the same movies. And I'm like, The Town is about a guy trying to leave Boston.
Yeah.
And no one wants him to leave. And I'm just, of course Collateral has some sort of, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Keep going. Golden
but
Child.
But she was just like, she wouldn't let me come home to take care of her. You know, like, and like, I still, like, so there were these things, I was like, and she ended up being okay. And it was like a misdiagnosis. And she ended up being healthy for a number of years after that. So she didn't have MS.
But she wasn't leaning on you. Like,
no, she wasn't.
It
was quite the opposite. She was like, you're not. She saw that it was good for me to leave, and she wanted me to have like a best. So she was like, "You're not coming back." You know, like not like this. Like if you want to come back, you can come back, but you're not coming back because you think I'm going to get old and wither away. Like you know, like. And there were times where I was lean of money and.
Great phrase.
Thank you. I still have this letter. My folks were divorced, but she was like, I only have like $100 to give you right now because she didn't have the money at the time either, and but that would put food on the table for whatever that month, you know. Like, but she goes, but she gave me her wedding ring. And then she just didn't know. She was like, I don't know what to do with it.
So you're moving away, and she gives you the.
No, this was like when I was like away, and I was broke, and I had like.
And she sent you her wedding ring.
Yeah, because her and my dad had divorced. She goes, I'll never wear it.
No. I know. I wasn't saying.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it, and it's incredible.
Yeah, and the thing she wrote was she's like, I'll never wear it again, and I never could figure out what to do with this. So I think it giving you a little peace of mind is. The best thing it could ever do.
What if you were like, and I've been wearing it ever since?
I never sold it. I still have it.
Really?
Yeah, I still have it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. I didn't see that twist.
Yeah.
Like, you were like, and I went to Dave & Buster's, and I played the skee ball.
Put it all on black. Yeah, but like that was like.
You still have it.
Yeah, I still have it. Yeah.
Wow.
It's so weird because no one will ever wear it again. You know, like unless I get married and.
Or grave robbers if you die and you're buried with it. And
yeah, it's in a safe deposit box because I am worried that I will like just move one day and be like, I don't need anything in this box. Like,
yeah,
okay. But she was the best, man.
That's
she was awesome,
incredible.
Yeah, she was very selfless.
I'm so glad I asked. Yeah.
Do you find yourself like since you've had a child like having a greater capacity of love than you were capable of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Like it's a very real thing, huh?
It's unbearable. It can be painful.
It scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like the thought, like I love my nephew so much. Like he is.
I love your nephew.
Yeah, he's great.
Scout?
Yeah. Scout.
What if I was right?
Neon.
Little Neon Scout?
His name's Pete.
It is?
No.
I've walked right in and there was a bucket on the door.
But I hurt for him, like just thinking about him sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, and if I had a kid,
Yeah.
I can't. But like, I was just like, he got me. The thought of him got me out of bed the other day. Yeah, like,
Oh, yeah.
like that kind of like. I was like, yeah, I don't want to fucking do this. Like, I don't want to go do these things. And they're just like, that kid might need to go to college. Like you know, like, and like I'll help. Not that you know, like that's fully my. But like he got me. That's how much I love him.
That's your Netflix show. Is you teach him college?
I teach him college.
Torres University. What's up, fuck?
What's up, cuck?
And you school him.
What a weird thing. Like homeschool college probably is a thing.
Homeschool college.
Yeah.
Mom is teaching
That
you.
is my Netflix show.
Mom is teaching you to grow away from her.
You don't know. You're so homeschooled. You don't know one day your parents will die.
That's great.
Yeah. Do you homeschool your kid or
No.
Yeah?
Although it's more and more normal these days, isn't it?
On my first album special thing with Comedy Central, I talked about how weird I think homeschool people are. And I still believe that.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's a fun premise, and I don't think you're wrong. But it could be proven wrong because I think there's a modern. I'm not even.
There's always there's a way to prove it wrong, and I'm sure that like I am wrong in some ways on it.
But we're talking about homemade flour sack dresses, and they're teaching them creationism. I think there's a different way.
And also the aid, like, and I feel like some people's parents were like, "Is there a way to not pay taxes if I homeschool my kids?" That kind of stuff. Yeah,
and now I think it's like they're very deliberate.
It's the Ben job from the folks.
Well, there's schools in Ojai that are only play, and like it's only 2-3 days a week, and like some of the homeschool people send their kids so they get the socialization. So they're being
was always the issue.
Deliberate.
Yeah. But that was always my issue with homeschool because I guess they just didn't feel socialized to me in the same way.
Of course,
yeah.
My mom thinks I'm cool,
and I lack the language to like.
What do you mean?
Recognize that when I met homeschool kids when I was like 13. You know, But I think they're weird. I think they're strange. And that being said,
I'm going to homeschool my kids.
I don't think they're weird anymore. But the ones I had met were a little odd. That being said, I did have sex with one. A
homeschooler.
Yeah, like recently. Like she was she was homeschooled. And
no.
Yeah.
You had sex with a homeschooled person? I don't know why that feels inappropriate.
I know.
Right?
I know.
It's like someone in a
And it was inappropriate.
Cult.
All of it was disgusting. You think they're awkward? You think they're awkward with clothes on?
Oh no. I like it and I love it. Here's our final question. I've enjoyed this so much.
This has been a blast. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yeah.
Just looking at my notes, making sure I don't have anything. Yeah, we got it. I already asked you about your dead mom. I'm not going to ask you about your breakup. Your special starts with your big breakup. We're not.
I could talk about something from that off screen.
Okay.
Off tape.
Oh, I'm excited. Can't believe you dated Chelsea Handler.
It wasn't her, but it was a celebrity.
Ooh.
Anna Kendrick.
You dog. You devil.
I wish it was. No. What celebrity would I have said that you would have believed?
That's Shannon Doherty. By the way, Anna Kendrick, I did a movie with her, and she sometimes listens to this podcast, and I really hope she listens to this one because she'd be like, I was the outlandish.
What if she just goes, ew?
I could
You're
really
like homeschooled to me. Like that's what I feel like around Anna Kendrick. I'd be like around Anna.
Homeschoolers are to you. She was very amazing.
She seems very charming.
Very wonderful. Homeschoolers are to you as you are to Anna Kendrick.
Yes.
That's what it is. We'll talk about that off microphones. But what can you think of a time in your life when you laughed really, 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 really hard? And it doesn't have to be a great story, but if someone fell or maybe someone farted, those are often.
What is the impetus of this? Like, why do you?
It just always brings me joy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like sometimes in a situation where you're not supposed to laugh. Sometimes it's you're on drugs or you're drunk or something.
You know what I thought like really made me laugh? Black Lives Matter. No.
That would be the most career-ending two-camera. Just pick the
BLM. No.
And then we just cut to color bars because somehow it cancels
just, like,
this show.
Ads get read. No, I trying to think of. I know I have them. You don't. What is something that made fall? I can think of a fall, but that's like.
Yeah, you know, it's
a weird thing to think of. What's the best one you've heard? Give me something that that you
I always think of
one you remember, so I can like maybe it'll jolt something.
Adam Pally told the story about this kid in his chemistry class that slipped on some water on the floor, and he went like ah! Like in the air, he like cried out, and it was so wrong to laugh at it. Somebody just had a good. They're hard to think of.
There is a moment of space when like you can if somebody is falling for so long that you're like. Jesus,
well,
like, and you're like,
if you have time to think, that person's falling.
Yeah,
that's a long fall.
I've had those.
Falls. Usually, it's just they fell.
Yeah. You're
but
like,
if
you're like, Christ, are you okay? You're like,
wait for it. Now, are you okay?
Yeah,
we got a riff out of it.
You got to watch all of it. You got to watch.
Wait till the end. Are you all right? Shane,
what's going on over there?
Watch the special. It's called Blue Eyed Mexican. Thank you for doing this.
I had a really nice time.
I had a great. Two guys having a great afternoon. Yeah. Although it's the morning.
It's still the morning.
But
yeah. I'm glad we started earlier too.
Me too.
Yeah,
because I can pick my daughter up from school.
I know. So nice.
I know.
Do you ever use her to
get out of stuff?
Well, like, no, I was gonna say fish for alligators. Like, no, of course, yes, to get out of stuff.
I really didn't know what you meant. And I was like, oh.
I was just trying to think of the weirdest thing. Like, you just hang her off of the clothing. No, like, if you had been like, I was happy to move it. Truly, I didn't care. Like, because I had nothing. Yeah. It didn't interfere. But if you'd been like, I need to pick my daughter up from school. Can we do it an hour early? Like, is that like a passive aggressive move to you, or is it like a thing?
No, it's incredible. And you get a whole new, it's like leveling up in a video game. You get the catch-all excuse. Some family stuff came up, and people and they shouldn't. They don't question it. They shouldn't. I'm not trying to. This is a good excuse. I have to move it. Some family stuff came up because that could mean anything.
Yeah,
you can't say some dog.
So family stuff could mean like we're watching Netflix. Like,
oh yeah, but it is.
Yeah,
we needed some family time. I can't do this.
That is wild, man.
Yeah, no, you would love that. But a dog gets you halfway.
Yeah.
A dog gets
I don't have like I'm alone, so I have no. It's if I can't do something,
you got to go feed,
I've had people actually be like, "Well, what are you doing?"
Buckley. Like I guess somebody's got to air out Buckley.
Oh, time I left. I got it.
Okay, here it is.
And it is a fall. I was in Greece last year with Bert. We did a Euro tour, and we were watching this like these guards do.
Is there a character Bill Burt, and it's Bert Kreischer and Bill Burr? So it's a shirtless Bill Burr.
It's a clothed Bert, like
yeah.
I don't know which one is better as a
yeah. I want to see a clothed Bert. Keep going.
We were watching. They were like, we took some tour, and they're like, these guards at this place or whatever are mimicking horses, like the way they were walking, right? And it was very deliberate. It was like an interesting. You could see it the way they were doing. They were marching or whatever, and then we all just turned left, and it was on a slight incline like this. And we turned left, and this guy was just trying so hard not to fall forever.
One of the guards?
No, just a regular person in a suit. So these guys were like the contrast of these guys walking very deliberately. Perfectly. And this guy was like, and it was like, like it was so long. And Bert just always has his phone out, I guess, because he caught it. We were like, Jesus, like we were doing that. And he finally were like, it was at least as far, and I truly do not think I'm exaggerating this, from the driveway to where we are. Like he was going so far. And then finally we were like rooting for him almost. Like, is he going to make, like, and he fucking bit it. And he got up. And like, we were like, I think we said, are you okay or whatever, but I think like there was a language barrier or something because we were.
Yeah.
And then he just got up and walked away. I don't know if he knew he fell. Like, I think he was so not embarrassed.
It's got to be a European thing.
It was crazy to me.
He got up and walked as if he was accepting an Oscar.
Dude, it was bananas how much he brushed it off. And I fell outside of a hotel the other day. I slipped because it was raining. And I was like, God damn it. And people came out and they were like, we heard you fall. So like, and I was like, that's like, first of all, indirectly fat. Like, that's what I heard. Yeah. And
Did you go, was this a fat joke?
Yeah.
I show up? Was that a fat joke? Like, no one was even thinking that.
And I haven't even thought about that. No, I was so embarrassed and angry. And like, I was like, fuck that, like fucking this morning. And this guy fell for much longer.
Did Bert film it? Is that why
it is on? Bert has it on footage. Like, because we watched it, we were like,
so if you're falling long enough for me to notice and then
like
start
Bert was filming the guards, and then we heard like, what? And Bert, it was perfect.
I mean, what's the difference between Fred Astaire tap dancing and someone falling for a long time?
The kind of
tap dancing is falling. Yeah.
Grace.
The answer is Grace.
Grace Kelly, was that who he danced with?
We did not march for it.
But I couldn't believe it.
I love it.
And it's just there on footage too. Like, and you can hear us being like, like,
oh,
yeah.
Is it gonna?
And then you go, because Bert has that amazing laugh where he'll just be like, oh, like, yeah. And I was with Mark Smalls. Do you know him? And Mark is awesome. He's a brilliantly funny guy, but he's very straight, like skate kid. He'll be like, dog, like, and I'm just like, Jesus, like
3 flavors.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, dog.
Yeah. We watched it so much.
Can you text me the video so we can play it?
I'm going to see if I can get it from Bert or Pete. Yeah,
we'll play it. We'll play it, okay?
It was amazing.
Unbelievable.
This was so much fun. And I'm sure you have another podcast after this.
I don't. I'm going home.
For what?
Pick up my daughter.
There you go. Stick to your story. Stick to your story.
Cut to me at...
Enjoy Ojai. I hear it's really nice out there.
Cut to me at the Dancing Unicorn. I couldn't think of a strip club.
Oh.
Because that's how cool I am.
Lady Neon.
What is it called? Oh, yeah.
That's a good...
The Lady Neon strip club.
The Lady Neon is... kind of sounds like a madam, too.
If only ladies were this easy to turn on. That's the guy turning on the lights
like with this
every morning.
backdrop, it has that kind of Empire...
Yeah.
It's got a very
what I just realized this is
Gatsby kind of thing.
This is like the skyline from Punch-Out when you're jogging. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Very much, yes.
Is that a load screen?
As an avid boxing fan, and
and your brother's a boxer. Next time, would you say keep it crispy?
Oh yeah, keep it crispy. My voice cracked. I have to say, did you hear it?
I didn't hear it.
Keep it crispy. I couldn't say it right.
You made it weird.